All right, we're live to the another episode of Youngling Junior channel. I'm with my boy Black Male Talk, aka Josiah Johnson, man. It's really a pleasure having you here on the show, man. I've been on your show before many times, especially since last year,
Right.
and we talk about various topics, man. So, before we get into the topic here, I just want to go ahead, just introduce yourself, man. What do you do? What's your channel all about?
Oh well, thank you for having me on here. Yes, it's me, BMT, Black Male Talk. Pretty much, we talk about everything that you want to know about when it comes to building of the black man, especially when it comes to politics, finance, love, family, community, different multifaceted things that we deal with in our everyday life and struggles. I'm all for also building alongside with women and whoever you so choose. Not just you don't have to be just a black woman, but any woman of your choice. For black men empowering themselves and just pretty much, positivity. We like to talk about a lot of things and actually get involved with a lot of stuff. You can find us on BMT, Black Male Talk, on YouTube, as well as a few other channels that we do have. Um, we also have the Black Men's Congregation on Facebook, and we also have BMT, the actual page where you can actually interact with other people in different business and ventures. And usually Black Men's Congregation is predominantly for men, but the BMT page, that's for men and women. And a lot of them actually come through and they voice their opinions. They drop their pages, their YouTube, their channels, and I support them. And actually, I link up with them. So we do a lot of stuff like that. If you always want to talk with me, you can always reach me through Young Link, or you can always just hit me up on via email at blackbrother123@gmail.com. So
Right, that's good, man. We're fascinated too about how consistent you are. Because I was like, man, I have to interview BMT because I like how you start off with your Bible topics. When you was first starting off, man, I met you at O'Shea Du Jackson interview you on his show, and you was just talking about why you have to uplift one another and help each other out, as they go, and that's a good progression because if you continuously to do that, it shows encouragement, it shows hope for people that's coming up and they want to try new things. And we have like a tendency like, okay, well, you have to be big, you have to be successful for me to help you. Like, no, like let's go along this journey and let's learn as we go. And the channel, the topic here is the youth is all we got, and it's really inspiring because I think we was on the phone, we were talking about you're working on interviewing more teenagers and hearing about their struggles and what they want to go through. So just tell me a little bit more about that process and what's the good inspiration for you doing that as well, and what's the motive behind it?
well, one of the things about it is from what I'm seeing, especially a lot of people are turning to social media and different little multifacets of of, of advice,
Hmm.
and it's more so of the sky is falling on some aspects versus actually getting the gems of information that they need for success. One of my main things is I've never talk about something I have not done or have not been through in myself. So I would rather talk about my own experiences and actually tell y'all how to not make the same mistakes or how to be better. We do help individuals, no matter the color, get jobs, especially if you're in the low country area, or we'll tell you what you need to do to try to go get a job more efficiently. We also help out with financial budgeting. We talk to people about how to better equip themselves while going into the military. I get a lot of emails from people about going into the military. I am a retired veteran. I am very successful. I work in real estate as well as property. I teach. I teach in a whole platter of stuff that I myself I didn't always have that access or resources of people to tell me or how to do it or where I should go, what I should do. But
Hmm.
luckily now that I'm in a position in my life where I can go over and talk about these things or can go over and do these things, then I can more so equip people who come by and talk to me. I sit down with them. I sit down with people and talk about court cases. We have a lawyer. We have different other people that we can sit down and actually give you advice and just talk to you about stuff. And also we also talk about psychological stuff. We do have people that help with trauma, suicide. So BMT, we do a whole multifaceted of things. Just the tip of the iceberg is just us being on our channels. Yeah.
That's and I'm glad you hit that. I'm going to specifically go into detail about the mental health. I believe that's a huge epidemic that's going on in our Black community and communities in general. You hear countless of things. We report the news that it was a kid that was he was 17 years of age, and he had a scholarship to play football, I believe, at a university, but. And I'm not blaming single mothers or anything, but he was in a single parent household and really had too much guidance. And I believe he had so much responsibility taking care of his siblings. It's to the point he had to go to school, be performing on the field, and he got to perform academically. And it was to the point that it was a toll on him, and he had so much responsibility that a young man shouldn't be enduring.
Right.
Walking in front of the train and killing himself. And I'm looking like, wow, like it's crazy. Like we losing so many potential people that can really help out and do great things in the world, and they selling themselves short. Like it was 11-year-old in Chicago, Illinois. I believe this happened last year around February. He ended up he tried to kill himself. He tried to strangle himself with his bed sheet because he was being bullied. Now, in your program and your channel, even though you do talk about black issues in the Black community, far as specifically going towards the youth, what is for like? I feel like I know you're mentoring, but what do you think it can mitigate this mental health thing? Even though we don't have any type of mental health solutions, we don't have too many of them health in the community. So, what is the best solution, like financially? Do you think we need to kind of like meet with these individuals, like meet with people to get these loans out, and so we can have mental health clinics, or is ADHD, ADD is the thing? Like, what do you think we can eliminate that?
Well, so one of the things that we can do, and if it was possible, I would say it's not hard to get an auditorium. Okay. And I mean, I'm not talking about a big auditorium. Like you can go get a rec area and say, hey, can I borrow this rec area? And for after school, if there's kids that have counseling or different types of issues, you can literally probably go get somebody who's a counselor or a youth counselor or somebody who's an individual who's within that spectrum of talking, and have counseling group sessions. Like things are a lot more easier when you tackle them together as a group. So let's say I'm in an abused home situation. So I have other people who are dealing with that. And what we do is we start setting up a work keys thing where, okay, guys, first thing we're going to talk about is self-improvement. What I'm going to do is we're going to take y'all by Goodwill. We're going to go buy y'all some clothes. It's not expensive. It's not hard. We go get y'all some teeth. We go get y'all some shirts and a tie. We show you how to do that stuff. Something and put you in front of a mirror.
All right.
We'll make you, and I did this one time to myself, and I just sat in front of a mirror, and I actually started telling myself, what do I want? What do I want to see? How do I want to be viewed as? And and as we started saying that, but I know what it's like to be homeless. I know what it's like. And I know what it's like to deal with a lot of pressures. And like the reason why a lot of these children or a lot of these young people are definitely falling by the wayside, they don't have an outlet of energy or a place to put it towards. So I wouldn't have no problem if we started taking them by areas such as, i.e., let's set them up with, listen, I wish it was something where we could, take them to jobs, like take them to jobs. McDonald's hires, Burger King hires, McDonald's hires every week. Every week they got opening for hire. So I saw a young girl there. She was sitting right there when I was feeding my kids, taking McDonald's for the week. And she was nervous. And I walked right up and I could tell she was at an interview. We got the paperwork out there. And I said, you got this. When I said that, she stopped looking at her phone because a lot of young people stare into their phone. Look at social media and stuff. They do that. They do that out of nervousness to try to look at things to comfort them.
Yeah.
And I said, you got this. You got this. She put down the phone. She actually just You know what I'm saying? She paused herself and fixed up her poise. And literally, when the lady come there, she said, I can work whenever you need me." And she got the job. And when she did, she came right over to my table and said, "I got the job, sir." And see, right there, sometimes it's the little things of encouragement that where we can show them that, hey, show them how to get jobs, budget themselves. You know what I'm saying? Okay, guys, you're gonna get paid $600. Let's take y'all to the bank. Now, a big issue that's going on is that a lot of people, a lot of children, a lot of young individuals, they're not being taught the proper tools on how to equip themselves in the world, getting a bank, properly budgeting their money, spending the now rather than saving for the later. These kind of things are stuff that should be taught to you, but are not. And we get it that the disposition of the economy for America is pretty bad, but you want to teach them you can't spend money that you technically don't have. You can't get involved in stuff. You got to learn how to deal with peer pressures. Bullying is a big factor. I know it's like to be bullied. I was bullied for a good part of my life. I had to learn how to be comfortable in my own skin with my own looks. I had buck teeth. I used to always, like scratch at myself because I used to think that I was not worthy. But then after a while, you know what? I said, you know what? I thank God for the friends and family I did have. My little brother was a big impact. I had one good friend. He was a foster kid, a white kid named James Harris, and everybody thought James was crazy, but James was perfectly sane. It's just that how many kids do you know that like anime, play Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic, and you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about that stuff that a lot of y'all like, whoa, this is what they do. Like I remember one time, I remember one time I pulled out all my video game controllers. I had PlayStation, Xbox. I put them all out. People are like, whoa, you play all those games, BMT? I'm like, yeah, like some things I did to keep my sanity, and I had a mental focus balance to actually keep me stable. So, that's stuff that you got to look into.
And you did that, okay? And like with the little girl, you say you picked her up and everything. You did that, and you noticed it was a problem that she needed some type of income, and that's good that you took upon yourself to do that, man, because at the end of the day, some people, had this mentality like, hey, I made it, so you need to get yours. And like when you turn 18, sometimes all parents say, hey, get out my house. You know what I'm saying? We don't have, all is I got to get out the house. And so when you get out the house, like I said, you don't even know about budgeting. You don't know, oh, I got to pay my credit card. Oh, I got to put 10% up, or I got to learn how to budget and pay my bills. And then, you get frustrated, and then life starts happening and you get stressed, and you feel like nobody really cares about you. Then you join different groups, and you just out there pretty much like a lone wolf. And that's extremely important, because when I was working in the hospital before, it was a lot of people that had like psychiatric issues, man, mental illness and stuff. The police officers used to always take them to the hospital because we had like a huge mental clinic. It wasn't any designated place for them to go to get professional help.
Right.
And they quick to diagnose kids like ADD, ADHD. I heard what Dr. Umar Johnson was talking about. It's another way for them to profit off the kids. And you got children, so like when like it's a boy or anything, it might be hard for him to sit down in the classroom and focus. He's very more hyper. He got to move around a little bit. Ain't nothing wrong with him. That's just how nature he is. Building up that testosterone. It's more of a school is more of an estrogen type of like I said, just environment. You sitting down and studying, but they want to diagnose your kids with this type of drug and whatever. And I heard that like single parent households, like they get a lot more money doing that too, putting them on these type of pills and everything. So like special education. So I brought that up is because like special education, all that stuff is a really a significant factor on the child's self-esteem, even though it might be nothing wrong with them. But because the school district labeled them as, oh, you got a problem, you got ADHD, you can't do this. Now they developing, when they get older, like, damn, I can't do this, I can't do that, and it's just mentally scarred.
So when it comes to that, because I work with some schools, and I talk with some kids.
Mhm.
First things first is building up a rapport. Parent or individuals in the community build up rapport with the kid. Now, yes, I'm not always for medication, but also understand some medication does help level you out. But
Okay.
one of the biggest things about it is having a positive direction of where to bring that out. You know what I'm saying? I remember they wanted to put me on doggone medication when I was young. My mom was like, "No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to put him on Ritalin." You know what I'm saying? And the lady was like, "No, no, let's put him on Ritalin." And she was like, "No, not. We just need to find something." So my mom started putting me in extracurricular stuff. Now I get it. Extracurricular stuff costs money, but
Yeah.
that's your job as the parent. That's not the child's job. And I get it that this is where the accountability, and I preach a lot about that accountability comes in. Whereas to, you know what, they started putting me around things to actually, give me stuff to focus and work towards. You know what I'm saying? Beatings don't always just fix the answer. Though I am for some corporal punishment when you step out of line. But that's not the end all be all answer. Sometimes, and I'm a parent, I have children. So one of the things about it is I try to keep it where my kids have things to work towards, goals. See, that's one thing about it that can help a person along the way in path of life. Give them a goal. Give them something to strive for. Hey, y'all, guess what? You bring home straight A's or straight something. You know what I'm saying? I'll take you to go get you a burger and ice cream. You know what I'm saying? It makes them feel proud about themselves. But then after a while, just sometimes coming home and just stamping it up there on the wall and taking some tacks and putting it on the wall and say, look what you did. Look what you achieved. You see that? You see all those good markings up there? You did that. You're going to go farther. And see, a lot of parents don't tell their children or should tell their children, you're going to one day surpass me.
Mm.
I want you to surpass me.
Instead
See,
of competing with their child.
right. I have no problem telling my child. I tell that to my children. I tell that to younger people. I even tell that to you that, I want y'all to surpass me. I want y'all to outdo me. Let my bone be the cement in the motor so that way you can put it down on the pavement so that way you don't have to walk on rock ground. You can walk on the street.
Mm.
So that way after you finish walking, you build a car so that way the next generation after you can ride.
Mm.
Like we got to understand that it has to be somebody has to set the way. And so when you give them these goals, dealing with doggone mental health, that is an issue. So I always try to tell men and women, but predominantly men, I speak to majority men, start learning how to talk to the kids. Start learning how to deal with your society. You know what I'm saying? I'm about individuals are to be held accountable, but every man and woman got to carry his own cross. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Everyone has to carry their own cross. However, you got to be accountable. You know what I'm saying? You got to know that. Listen, I can't judge you if I ain't getting my stuff together. I can't tell you about. You know what? Hey, kid, you generation, y'all been doing it. Well, then they're gonna look at you like, well, what are you doing? You ain't helping us, so we got to figure out for ourselves. So I always try to show them and actually let them see, like, yo, you see what Mr. J's doing? See how I got the vehicles? See how I got all this stuff? You can possibly have that, if not more, if you follow this guideline.
Yeah.
And I see some people doing it.
Yeah, and I hear I'm glad you brought that up. I hear it's like, older generation and some older people in the older generation saying that these kids lazy, these kids crazy, saying they don't want to do anything, they just shaking their head but not being proactive and helping them out. And from their perspective, they can say, well, we've been talking and teaching these kids, they still don't want to listen, they still want to do what they want to do. And so it kind of separates that gap, like that connection, because it's some wisdom they can learn from generation X. What I'm saying? Some generation Z people can learn from the millennials.
Mm-hmm.
And, but it's just like, it's a huge vicious cycle. I remember I was talking to my father a few weeks ago. He was talking about his great grandfather. If he would have started a business, he actually had a business, but he ended up like not passing down to the family. He lost it due to him being undisciplined, with women and all that stuff, and just kind of lost a lot of wealth. And he was just saying, if my dad, which is my grandfather, would have actually started a business, we would have been very kind of wealthy. We would have been up there if he would have had a same exact discipline. He was just saying, like, especially as a Black family, we have to build this up. We can't just continuously just have children and set them up for failure. It's not saying being rich all the time, but it's more like at least give them something to go upon. Like, okay,
Right.
like after college, yeah, you might be in there for a little bit, but listen, hey, I got this option. If it doesn't work out, you could come and work for us, work for this family business. A lot of Chinese people do that, some white people do that, Jewish people do that, and the money is continuously cycling. That's what I'm starting to notice. So, maybe our next topic for generational wealth. So you're saying like you have successful business. You don't mind you just talk about one of the businesses that you're doing and how it's generating generational wealth to the family.
So one of the things that our family's into is property and real estate. Now, some people gonna be like, "Oh man, like, great. How am I supposed to afford real estate?" Okay, that's fine. All right. So I get it. And I'm into real estate, and I definitely like tell. I'm gonna do something better. Actually, I'm gonna tell you something that we're working on now. So I believe in every area there's a scrapyard, or people need cars hauled, different other stuff invested into. One thing I would always tell people is to go get a truck if you can. Somebody always needs stuff taken. Go get a truck and go to your auction. Offer to haul cars for them. You can take those cars and take them to either salvage or take them to car dealerships, drop them off. You know what I'm saying? That's some good money. And literally in talking about doing that, and some people say, man, that's too much work. That's the whole key point of building a legacy, building some reputational value. Like, somebody has to put in the work. And by me learning and showing how to do this, and see, I'm moving in uncharted territories that my family is not in right now. Understand? So everything I'm learning, I'm writing down in a journal. So that way my sons, they'll know, or those in my family after me will know what they need to do.
It's laying the foundation for them. Makes sense. It's like a blueprint. Yeah.
So understand, write things down.
Yeah.
Write things down. So one of the things about it that we do, especially in our family, is we write down our financial ventures. And we didn't think much about it. We write down everything from the cost and everything. And when they pan out, or however they may go, journals after journals after journals, all written out of all our of businesses that we have, what we got going. So whatever the next child wants to learn, it's literally the Johnson Bible of success. They don't have to guess on what to do. The only thing they have to figure out is, well, what's going to be the price? How much money do I need? How much money do I need to save up for? Even down to commercial driving. So literally, we have everything set up for the next children that come after us. You have at least about 9 years worth of writing and still building. So any kid to come after, or any child to come after, and I've seen it where we'll fill it out. We'll fill out the journals, and as in the information checked out. But how many families can say that they're doing that? If, like, I tell people, listen, I was that guy who flipped burgers and worked doing security.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that way, you're never going to just start out in 6 figures. You got to work your way there. You got to be humble. You know what I'm saying? You got to go through your scrapes and bruises. The children in Egypt, the children that when they left, the children of Israel, when they left from Egypt to the promised land. The problem was that they just thought that, like they wanted to go back because they were like, I don't know how to function outside.
Yeah.
I don't know how to function outside of my bondage. And sometimes the mental side can very much be the bondage because they were broken after all the miracles that they saw. But sometimes you got to just tell yourself, listen, man, like I'm here. This is happening. But I can't afford to go back to Egypt. I can't afford to keep going back to that hostile environment. So you got to literally keep on telling yourself every check, every day, it's another day. I just got to make it work. And it's not easy. But see, that's when you start removing yourself from certain types of entities. Look at people, what they're doing in your community. Look at what they're doing versus is it moving towards what you need in your life. You want to see something better in your life. But the people, when you ask people, this is what I want to do. This is what way I'm thinking. This is the people I care about, I love. If they're not supporting that, and what I'm doing is positive. What I'm doing is trying to actually better myself. And they're not supporting that, then you got to be like, you know what? Let me stop spreading my seeds around ground where it's not going to grow. Stow my seeds and move solidly. And that's something that I told a few young people. Like one young brother, he wanted to go to the military, but his mother was like, no, you should stay here. I don't want you dying in no white man's army. But I'm like, so how do you know how far you're going to go if you don't go? How do you know? Man, I got my friends here and all that stuff. I said, yeah, but you can always make more friends. If there's truly your friends, they will still be your friends even when you leave.
That's true. I still got that same best friend still with me. I went, yep.
I said, if they're truly your friends, they will still be your friends even after you leave. And when I told him that, he thought about it. And I said, listen, study for the ASVAB. He said, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to get a good job. And that's why I said, stop doubting yourself and just try. Just try. He came back. He told me, he said, well, I didn't get the job I wanted. But I said, is it a job that I'll get you in? He said, yes, sir. And I said, well, so long as you get in the door or you're starting to move forward, that's all that matters. I'd rather you say, I left outside of bondage and I started my trek. Yes, the sands of life are going to hit you in the face.
Yeah.
Yes, you're going to get hot. You're going to get blisters and stuff. That's fine. But so long as you're making your journey towards your promised land, listen, you may not get there. I'm just being honest for some of y'all. Some of y'all may not get there in your life. But if you know that you set the groundwork to your success, I want you to understand, like the children, the children of former slaves, the ones who walked out, they were like, yo, all I know is to be a slave. But my child will not know of that lifestyle. They'll never feel that lash on their back. And their children after that, what they fight for, they'll fight for the right to read and write. And their children will fight for the right to have better supplies and better education and also be respected when they create and build stuff. And their children after that will have the right to have their ideals and patent designs to be properly represented. Do you see the building blocks of, listen, we already understand when you come out of your bondage of your situation, you're not going to make it to the promised land. But somebody after you might just get there if you but started. So what we're seeing now is we're dealing with people who are saying like, listen, I should just get it right now in this lifespan. Well, if you're going to get it, then you better start getting to work. Stop talking about it. Just get to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew I wanted a wife and a family. I knew I wanted that. But for me to have that, I was not in a proper, advantageous life. So I needed to shut up and get to work. When I met my wife, I was working. And I was sleeping on the couch. But I knew that, listen, I wasn't in no state or mind to take on a family. So we were just friends. We talked. We talked about our goals. It's something that a lot of people don't do. Again, y'all keep noticing I'm bringing up goals.
Mm-hmm.
Goal set mind.
Direction. Yeah.
Yeah, so you gotta have repetition. And so when you have goals, and I encourage a lot of y'all who are looking at relationships or looking at building up yourself in different multifaceted of life, challenge the other people around you. What's your goal? What are you trying to do this year? What do you plan on doing with your taxes? Oh, I'm gonna buy me some. What do you plan on investing?
We're gonna get into that in a minute about the taxes too. Yeah, because that's important. You said a lot of things too. I'm gonna piggyback on this pretty much just laying that groundwork. I just always say, it is Black History Month. I'm gonna kind of honor this. Like back in the 1800s, I believe that was like probably one of the best generation as far as like laying down the foundation for African Americans, because yes, it inspired the development of Wall Street. Then you have Frederick Douglass, who was part of the Union Garrison. He employed different individuals to work at this particular bank. It was people that was doing prominent things and everything. The Booker T. Washingtons, W.B. Du Bois, Carter G. Woodson. He was one of a Harvard personnel there, and they kind of inspired the Black History Month. And I want to say is that even though they went through the black codes, all this type of stuff, man, it was very difficult for them to leave something for the next generation. But they end up doing it, against opposition. So I just felt like we kind of need to get back to that, man, and it can be very hard because people, the pride of people, like you say, you slept on the couch, and when you were trying to develop yourself, when you met your wife, you probably felt ashamed, but at the same time that did not deter you for what you was going. You still had a laser focus. I remember you said in your video earlier today, it was an individual. You said he was working and he was developing himself. I forgot his name or whatever. He was developing himself. He was making like $19 an hour, but he was ashamed of himself because he was taking the bus.
Right.
Right. And so we look at those little things like, how can I shine? Like, I still don't get, even though it's something I need to be doing, I am making money, but it's not the type of money I want. And I'm not getting the same results as my other peer, and so we live in, of course, more of the social media type of internet age, and we want to shine, want to have all this type of pride stuff. So it can kind of be like, dang, you know what? I'm just sick. I'm sick of like struggling right now. I'm not seeing the immediate results, and so they kind of back off and just do other things. So I guess like my question is to you. I guess how can you continuously to pursue your dream if you're not really, you seeing like minimal results, and how can you have that mindset like, well, okay, it's gonna be other people that's gonna benefit from it, but me personally now, I'm not getting no results. So I'm still sleeping in the streets, and you're trying to pursue your dream as an actor or whatever, and these things are not still going where it's supposed to go.
Okay. So
Yeah.
all right, let's talk from there.
Yeah.
Sometimes the best route is the indirect route.
Okay.
And when I say that is I wanted a home, I wanted a family. Granted, I could always just go work and straight towards that, but there was nothing to prove for that. So what I did was I started outsourcing myself toward other ventures. The person that says, "Well, I want to be an actor," or I want to be this or that. Listen, you got to understand, I'm being so for real with y'all, but I know a lot of y'all say, "I want to own my own business." Well, to run your own business, you need multifaceted streams of income. Because let's be for real, some of y'all do not have a pool of financial resources just to pull from. No offense, y'all don't have no Jewish, y'all don't got no Jewish bar mitzvah going on, where people are gonna pool their resources. You're coming out of a community that literally is still trying to garnish or gain resources. So one of the big things about it is drop your materialism aspect of life. Like, listen, man, like when I was telling the brother, like, listen, you're worried about how people are going to view you, but you're worrying about the now. You're not worrying about the future, what you can see yourself as. You know what I'm saying? Samuel Jackson took a lot of roles as just like the guy in the back.
In his 40s when he got his first movie deal.
Right.
Yeah.
but he was in it for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing like a lot of like B and C listed stuff. Like ain't nobody knew who he was in the background. The first time you actually got to hear him was in Coming to America when he was the guy robbing the store.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember that. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so one of the things about it is sometimes like again, like I was saying, for me to reach my goals, again, I was sleeping and I was staying with a female who was very toxic, very destructive, very violent. And I loved that type of energy at the time. But it was not moving me forward. We were always getting in a situation. We were always having an issue. And I said, you know what? I'm going to have to, how bad do I want out of hell? How bad am I willing to change? I listened to the song with Kendrick Lamar, Heart Part 3. He talks about how one of his homeboys, to get to this situation, he was willing to sleep on the floor of his place so long as he knew that, hey, you know, we're sharing McDonald's food. You know, we're I'm sleeping on the couch, he's sleeping on the floor, and we're just trying to save up what we can. And though it's maybe minimal today, but guess what? It's going to get us, those pennies add up.
True.
Me working at Sonic's, then working at Bilo, stocking shelves. And I started, then after that, I was trying to do the TLE. I was working multifaceted jobs. Yes, a lot of people were, yeah, listen, man, being seen wearing, you know, the uniform and stuff, I know I got laughed at. I had different stuff come at me. But I did not care. But I'm like, so long as I got coin in my pocket. Mind you, I still had to go home. My little brother, my mom wasn't able to work. So I was working 2 jobs and also had to deal with home. And I was trying to pick up a 3rd job.
All of that.
All of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So listen, I get it. And it's very overbearing. Yeah. But I had to tell myself, listen, you know what? I still have strength in my body to make a change. So whenever I got whatever free time I did have, I would take that. I'll take 1/2 of that check, and I'll try to put it aside. I wouldn't tell nobody about it. I wouldn't tell nobody because I wanted that check to be for when I'm ready to actually make that investment move. I was ready, and I know this because I have had other people try this. One female, female and her boyfriend told me, yo, like, we tried it. Before the end of the year, I think they pulled up at least about $22,000.
And that was simply through. That was simply through them saving their checks. Like, was they putting a certain percentage up each time?
Yeah, they put up a certain percentage each time. Okay. Sometimes they couldn't put up a certain percentage, but they still put something aside. And also they took their tax money.
And that's good too. It's more like you have to be self-motivated. When I know
you do.
And if you don't have that killer instinct, you know, like Kobe Bryant used to say, man, I mean, it's going to be tough. Like the days that, you know, you're willing to, the days that you don't want to, you know, work out, or the days that you have to work and late and you got to get up early. He said those are days that you should live for, you know, when you don't feel like doing it, you know. And I remember Earl Nightingale, he was saying like success is a progressive realization of a worthy ideal, meaning that if you know where you're going and you know what you want to do and you taking the necessary steps to get there, you're automatically a success. For instance, someone who wants to be a teacher, right? So you know you want to be a teacher, you're studying, you're going to school, you're developing to be an expert in that subject, regardless if you have $1 million or $2 in your bank account. You taking initial steps which you desired that you want to do, you're automatically a success. And you can't, and then he was talking about, do not worry about how you're going to get there. You know, leave that to God. And I was just like, man, that was just so deep. You listen, if you guys are listening to, you can go to the audio. I typed it on YouTube. Earl Nightingale, 1950s personnel. He had his own radio host back in the day. He was talking about self-development. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. And the reason why I talk about me a little bit is that when I was in like a more of a deep I can say dark place, and like my parents like divorcing and everything. My dad had a library, and he still do, but at the time he had a big library and stuff. And in his library, and I picked up this book called "Think and Grow Rich" by Napoleon Hill. He wrote that in the 1930s, and it just talked about the difference. I'm talking about what you want, how to analyze your goals, the ingredients of success, and have the positive mental attitude. It's just simple things that you can control without regard to your income. So I noticed that I was like, man, I started having change. I was like, oh, if I just set what I want to do, set like some type of goal. Because when I was in high school, I was conforming. I was just like, hey, you go to school. This is something that you're supposed to do. I wasn't really thinking about the after effect, all that stuff. But that is important. And I'm glad that you brought this up on the show. That you got to have those things, man, in order to completely get you where you need to be. And then I feel like if sometimes like the youth can be misguided on those things, look for instant gratification, you
Right.
know. And for your household, you I don't know if your children or whatever, I don't know if they suffer from instant gratification though, but like you teach them to like go ahead and kind of surpass you, and then based on their talents and gifts. Um, so are they like involved in like different extracurricular activities, or are
Okay.
they? Yeah.
So as far as it goes for my children, when it comes to um, the most activity that they're involved in is STEM.
Okay.
They're involved in the STEM, and I sort of make them compete with each other as well as everybody in the school. In saying that, I tell my children that in this world, life is built on competition. No handout, free trophies. If you're looking for salvation, um, then I don't know what God you're praying to. And one lady heard me say that to my son. She said, "Why would you say that? I serve a God that." I said, "You serve a God that if you don't put in the work, you don't get no results." What did they say in the Bible? What did they say in the Bible? Faith without what?
Versus dead.
So what that means, you have to do what? You got to work.
Work, yeah.
You got to. That means you can't sit on your butt. I mean, even God Himself said, "Who's willing to go down there and put in the work?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and He said, he could have just spoke it. Doesn't matter. He could have just spoke it. Could have just said it. So literally, I tell my kids, if you want to be the best, if you want to be recognized, if you want to be seen, you have to have that. You have to have the ideology to fight and compete.
Mm.
And as I told that to my son, I will watch as one of my sons will watch his brother get on the stage and get an award. I said, "You want that award too? You want those praises and those claps? Well, you got about 8 more weeks, and then it'll happen again. So you might want to start training your mind, read these books. You might want to learn how to do these papers, fix your handwriting, play less of Destiny or less video games, and actually focus on your studies. And you can rise that C up to a B. But you got to put in the work." And as I told him that, my other son said, "I want to be in STEM like my older brother." Well, you gotta do. I tell you what you need to do, but see, the thing about it is, are you gonna do it? I can push you. And you see, as I tell this to them, now all my kids are in STEM. This is not something I made them do. This is something because they wanted to keep up. Nobody wants to get left behind.
Yeah, and that's good too, because something they can if they follow through with it. Those are one of the most occupations that they can get a job at, after college.
Right.
Medical field and engineering. I mean, that's just stuff that's very lucrative, man. Yeah.
And so when we look at these things right here, this is why you got to tell. This is why I try to encourage a lot of young individuals. Like a lot of people say, "Well, I'm entitled to this." That's just. So that's very true. You would be entitled to it, but understand it. It's like a will, and in the will, the father or the mother choose what you are entitled to, not you. you can say that you're entitled to the house, but that don't mean you'll get the house. That means whoever they so be fit.
Right.
And,
Right.
it's a sucky
Right.
guideline,
Yeah.
right? But it's the truth.
That's
So you got to literally put in the work for that. But if one day it does happen, they're like, well, you're not on the will. You're like, it's okay, cool. I already got a house. I already got this going. If anything, y'all gave me the house, I was just gonna rent it out. I was just gonna rent it out and go so I can get money to get another house.
right.
So you gotta learn how to doggone make pre-interplant. And see, I believe in teaching people to be preemptive. Like you want to be ready at all times. I know we talk about that in the military. Listen, pack your bag so in case something does happen. At least if you don't need it, right? Yep. It's better to have it and not need it than not have it at all.
Yeah, we was just talking about that a couple of days ago. Wow, that's that. Yeah, we was talking about that in the military. That's so deep. Yeah.
At least, but the thing about it is, so I tell this to people, like I don't mind showing, like when I'm out there, if I had to change a tire, I don't mind showing my wife that. You know, some people like, man, you have your wife out there. I said because at least she has the skill or knows the skill, so it's there. Mm-hmm. If I show my sons things, whether they use it today or they might not ever use it, at least they'll have it.
Well, it reminds me in the book of Proverbs, it says, "Train up a child the way it should go, so when he goes old, you won't depart from it." It's exactly, it's exactly what you're doing and stuff. That's wow, that's really good, man. If more of the youth can have that, I mean, regardless of if you have a mom and dad in your household or you are a foster home, parent, I mean, you can. It's just those principles, man. We have to really get back into, the laws of God. I mean, that's the general basis of everything. That's the family structure,
Mm-hmm.
And I just think about we turn away from that because you're going to continuously to hear, the disruptiveness between the black families and black women and black men and all this stuff. Why is not enough black men stepping up? I mean, that's for a whole nother video though. But at the same time though, the youth, they didn't ask to be here. So you get what I'm saying? So the least you can do is show them where they need to go.
No, and that's so true.
Yeah.
One of the things about it, and I usually tell this to people, like I tell this to people is nobody respects the man who's not afraid to go at it alone. Or the individual that goes at it alone. I did an earlier talk today talking about the reason why you're losing black men is you haven't learned how to check your emotions.
Good deep video. You guys check that out too. Really deep.
And that is very interesting. Why I try to tell a lot of black men the reason why people are passing you by. I know you keep telling yourself that you're winning, but in the grand scheme of things, you're not winning like you want to actually be winning. You're being just put in positions to fill in the spot of the minority, so that way you can't complain.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about it that you need to do is you need to learn how to check your emotions at the door. I tell that to a lot of young boys, a lot of them. And the thing about
because that's something that a lot of, I think that's a man problem too. I mean, yeah, women go through it too, but mainly men. We, like I said, we're generally made to be leaders in a way. From someone telling you what to do and stuff like that all the time, you kind of be like, dang, man, like why you giving me orders and stuff like that? Like I'm supposed to be running this. You might not even know what you're doing, but subconsciously you thinking like, dude, like who is you, bro? Like, and that's I think when you was talking about that, that's kind of how you disrupt your blessings too. And you was like, hey, if you want to be leader, go ahead and apply for a manager position and do it. Exactly. But we look at it like, we want to still be in that same position of not leadership, but still not take any type of orders. This is when you have to develop the skills. If you want to be a leader of some type of corporation, start your own business, or at least have some type of particular ownership, because you want to control your own destiny and your own narrative.
Exactly.
But go ahead. You can continue.
No, so the thing about it is, I hear a lot of black men say, "Well, I want respect. I
Mm-hmm.
want me as a black man to be looked up to.
You're right.
Get into a manager position. Then start out there. Get into a position where you start learning leadership skills. Where you
Yeah.
start learning how to be more accountable. Another thing I want you to start learning how to conquer. Start learning how to conquer your sexual demons. See, that's something that a lot of y'all do not hear or have talked to you about. I had to learn how to deal with that. I was very hyperly sexually active. I'm going to talk about that later on, where I felt like I had to have sex. I had to prove to myself I needed that. But see, I needed to learn how to control that. I needed to. I'm not saying I'm the
Mm-hmm.
best, but I also understand that I started taking that energy of where I think I needed it, and I put it into what I needed. So
Yeah.
if I felt like, I need to give me some sex tonight, I literally just picked up some more hours, or I literally just started getting to work on what's my next plan. Let me go ahead and start cooking me some lunches for this week. Yeah,
Okay.
I want you to understand that y'all want to know why the black woman has gotten ahead of y'all. She turned off her emotional thinking and literally just said, "I'm just gonna sacrifice that towards getting what I want."
And that's another thing. I do see a lot of still ladies. I believe that that's good, but I see a lot of ladies more in leadership positions, as far as black women in leadership positions than black men. And I always try to figure out why is that. Is it because they think they better than us? They have more credentials. I mean, and I like how
Uh,
you put it up. How as black men, they might have the same credentials, but they're more prone to hire that black woman than that black man. So it
uh,
sends a message to the black man, like, dang, like why should I continuously to thrive and try to work for these type of people if they're going to hire someone else? They're going to hire our women. And now you got some women that are in that position making six figures. I'm not saying all, but I'm saying some may have that position and that mindset, like, okay, well, I don't really need a man. I don't need to respect you. So the black man may feel inferior. And I think that's one of the reasons why I feel like sometimes to the black men, they might not really apply themselves into corporate America. What is your take on that?
the reason why, like, especially from the mantra, I don't need a man. I don't really need a man. I took that. I took that in the slide of I don't need you. I don't need you to get to where I'm at anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use every means possible that you won't use to get to what I want. And that was ingenious. I actually love that saying because black men, I wish we would say the same thing. I don't need you. I'm going to do what I need to do to build myself up to what I need. And granted, y'all bring up the Mueller report, Mahoney, every goddamn report about you.
Mm-hmm.
But see, life shows that those who know how to check their emotions, who know how to think business and know how to think like, listen, I got these things working. Don't you see all these things in history where people have so many obstacles against them and they just start having a driven focus? Like, I get all these things are against me, but I'm still going to just do whatever I got to do to get there. And if I die by the wayside, I die. But at least if I try and I make it, I make it.
Yeah.
And so when you had the mentality, because at the time when you came out of different situations, black man, you were a focused machine. You just had a driven state. Like, listen, if that woman's gonna always be there, but my opportunity may not. So I need to be driven hard where I can't afford to look back. Like, understand it's like even when I got married, I still dedicated 8 years of my life towards my career. I didn't have time to really get to sit at home. I didn't even get to go into one of my own houses.
Mm.
I spent more time working. And a lot of people say, well, oh man, was it worth it? Yes, because look where I got now. So yeah, it panned out. Because I understood that, I have to stay to the task. A lot of brothers, when you get in, sometimes you get lazy because you're like, well, I made it. No, you didn't. Only thing you did was just turn on the game. You just turned on the PlayStation.
Mm.
The real things begin when you pick up the controller and you put it on hard difficulty and you start really pressing on.
Mm.
So and thinking like this, this is why you got to be willing to start making the necessarily preps and sacrifices you need to get to where you got to go. And sacrifices, it comes hard because see, to gain power, you got to be willing to give up something in a sense. And the thing about it is, I lost friends, family, relationships, but all I kept steadfast to my faith on what I wanted to see, what I wanted to believe in. And now that I am where I am, you can't shake me out of that because I know the blueprint works. I know it works. And so that's why when I try to tell black men, this is what you're going to have to do. Black child, you want this, you want that Honda Acura, you want that nice apartment. Well, this is what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to pick up. I know you like working as just a fry cook, but I'm gonna need you to actually pick up that book. Go ask that manager, hey, I want to learn how to be a team leader.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but if you be a team leader, you're gonna do this. See, they're gonna try to scare you, but guess what they're gonna bring up to you? Responsibility. That means you're gonna have less time to make less mistakes because more people are going to depend on you. And you see, black man, you got to ask yourself the question: how many people are depending on you now? Who truly depends on you? Who looks towards you?
Yeah. It's a really a negative thing. You see it on. I completely agree with you. Like especially in the social media, man. When the transition of the whole Gayle King situation, and you hear like some women that kind of just vainly disrespected, all that type of stuff, man. And it's the imagery is wrong in a way. And that's my last video when I made with my brother Mike, the state of black men in the community. It's I don't know, man. It just seems like we got to get over this hump, and I'm really speaking out to the youth, to the young men, and doing the bare minimum. I guess it's not going to cut it. It can't cut it, man. And we have to, like you got to pick up and continue to do the work, but it can be very difficult when just things are stacked against you. People normally blame their environment. Like you said, they blame their family members and not getting enough help, and they just give up, especially when they're in survival mode. And when you constantly in a state of rejection, then you try to do more things, but you consistently get rejected. It's like, how can you continuously continue to move forward, without support and all that stuff? So I think that's what's really going on at this particular moment. It's just a loss of identity, the identity crisis.
So in saying that,
Yeah,
this is where you're gonna need that. You're gonna need that. I remember this time. I like to watch these people on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this one guy. He would start rapping or freestyling to the Millie beat.
Mm-hmm.
He sucks horribly.
He sucks. Okay.
And though people come on and just trash him, talk all kinds of stuff about him,
All right.
he keeps on rapping. He keeps on rapping. Takes a sip of water.
Keep rapping.
He keeps on rapping.
Yeah.
And he's like, despite what y'all say, I paid for this internet, and I paid for this time. I've been practicing on my lyrics. And I remember I think Thursday night, he actually did a good job. He held out for an hour and 45 minutes of just straight freestyling.
Consistent.
Consistent. But the thing about it was he kept on trying. And the thing about it was he said, listen, y'all can say whatever y'all say about me, but I was born in this world being talked about. I was born in this world being downed. I was born in this world being cursed out. So why now am I going to let you hinder me? He's like, if I can't see success in myself, then who can?
Mm.
And when he says that, he may possibly get somebody who may come in. He said, so long as y'all got your eyes on me, then I'm doing good. So long as y'all got eyes on me to see if I want to pass or fail. So he said, I stay on longer, and I keep on going. He said, then I'll relook at the video that I did, and I'll work on that, and then I'll start practicing on my lyrics when I go to work or when I'm free. And so he's trying to improve himself.
What's this dude on? Was on World Star, or how did you? Or was this a video?
It's on Facebook. You remember I show y'all my the Facebook thing where you have the different people come on Facebook and do stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's on there. He gets on from time to time. And the thing about it is, I think me and a few others we were showcasing a big female that was dancing, and everybody thought, oh, she's fat, sloppy, and all that. But she had over 1,000 views, and people were like, I get some people putting up that, yo, man, they're clowning her. She didn't care. She was like, because I'm doing what I want to do, and I'm getting paid to do it. So I'm gonna keep doing it. I mean, granted, everybody was calling Tekashi 6ix9ine a clown.
Yeah.
But he was getting paid to be that clown.
People keep sharing this stuff.
Y'all made him a millionaire.
Yeah.
I made him a millionaire. When he get out, he'll be a millionaire again. So the thing about it is, y'all got to understand, like, you got to have that reckless faith in yourself. And see, that's something about it, black men, I got to tell you. You got to have that reckless faith that if they won't go, you got to be willing to go by yourself. If they won't leave Sodom and Gomorrah, you got to leave by yourself. And until you find people that are willing to put in the work, there's no need in wasting your time. Heck, look at Jesus. Jesus sometimes left the disciples. He said, listen, I don't have time to deal with y'all because you ask too many questions rather than just get out there and do it.
Yeah.
You're more worried about what they're going to say about you, if they're going to talk about you. So if you're not about the work, ain't no need to waste my time. And you see, once you get to that mindset, granted, I told my old lady, hey, I'm laying on. If she didn't want to deal with me, that's fine. I would have kept doing what I was doing. I would have kept on working, busting my behind. Because I already understood that. I already started laying down the foundation of what I wanted to see in me. So once I got that, and I get it, a lot of people got to understand, a lot of people got to understand, you got to have that reckless confidence. And I get it. You want to hear that from a woman. You want a woman to say, oh, young lady, you're so hot and sexy. But see, if you're looking for other people to validate and give you the self-esteem building that you need, it's not going to work very well.
Right.
Because if they so choose to want to pull it away from you, then you don't have nothing to stand on. You don't. They want to spit down on you. That's going to immensely hinder you. You got to be strong and courageous in your own belief that, yo, I'm going to shine regardless.
Regardless who's against me, I gotta keep going. Yeah, that's it.
I gotta keep going.
When you had that video, man, I was just that video about, man, you was born the cards stack against you. So why you ain't coming out swinging? Like, bro, I had it on my smart television. I was just like, he preaching right there, bro. I was like, damn, like, why not? Who cares? Like, because I'd be like, okay, you born in this world for a reason. I truly believe that God didn't create anyone for no reason. It's up to you to identify that, and you showcase your talents. Like in the Bible, right? I think it's in Matthew. Man, I think it's in Matthew 25. I can't remember, but it's in the book of Matthew when it talks about the parable of the 10 talents, right? Mm-hmm. The 5 talents. And so it was like one individual, he had many talents. He ended up making more. One had like 2 talents. The other one had 1, and he felt like he was inferior because he was comparing his gifts to other people, and he decided not to do anything about it. And so therefore he was punished, and his punishment was the weeping and gnashing of teeth, which is known as hell, because he's a wicked and lazy servant. He decided not to utilize the gift that the king gave him, and so I say that to say that is that we're here to do on this earth is to showcase our talent and for the benefit of good. It's either you're going to use it for good or you're going to use it for bad, and it's all a choice. And this is why I be trying to tell like different bloggers or people on YouTube that want to, my man Sue, I'm not going to say his name though, but my man Sue, bringing up, like he was talking about the coronavirus, then he going to talk about why he's mad at Christians going to church on Sundays and stuff like that. Then I challenged him on the chat then got upset, one try to get his moderators out. Try to get his moderators to eliminate me from his chat and all that type of stuff, man. I'm like okay. But it's funny though, when people speak on things they have no knowledge about, and when you're trying to give them the solution, they want to, ridicule you. I just find that kind of hilarious on that though. And
what did you say? You were trying to give them a what?
So basically we was talking. So he was just saying, why y'all going to church on Sundays? What's the purpose of being a Christian? All that stuff. And his main concern was, if the Bible is so true, how come you can't find any fossils or find any type of bones of Jacob, Jesus, the prophets in the Bible that died before us? Like, it's really no evidence. And then he was just saying, like, the Bible's a book, it's full of lies, all this type of stuff, man. And because he says this on every other blog, and I keep giving him answers, but he keeps ignoring me. Then he finally read my chat, because he got like over hundreds of people listening. But he read my chat, then he wanted to moderate me out. So I just kind of found that, like, you don't even want to know this information, but you keep speaking about it. So I don't know. That's just like the frustrating part, though. I'm not trying to convince them to believe what I believe, but it's
that's not see, that's the thing about it. And see, that's the thing about it, where I have my belief, or whatever it may be, in the Bible. I have my beliefs, and I'm not going to say I'm the best Christian. Y'all already know that. But I definitely know that what I believe in is what I believe in. Just like some of y'all believe in being pro-black. Some of y'all believe in Dr. King.
You be tearing up the pro-black.
Some of y'all believe in Kemet and immortality. Y'all believe in everything. So when I say what I believe in, why is there so many backlash? Why is there so much issues? Y'all know, I mean, let's just be for real. Whatever gets you through the night, let that be your driving God. That's what I said. Everyone has a God for the right price. And whichever one of our gods works for us, works for you that day or that night, then hey, let it be that. Some of y'all gods is a woman. Some of y'all gods is money. Some of y'all gods is a man of the Most High. So whatever it is that you believe in, because I mean, for the whole world to believe in that type of God, well, that God preached about slavery. Well, what God did not talk about slavery? Name me a God that didn't talk about that. So you just go, and the thing about it is, let's be for real. Let me tell you why a lot of y'all Negroes are mad at Christianity, because you don't know how to properly utilize it for your advantages that you need it for. Some people can, and some people can't. I get it. It talked about slavery. So did Islam, so did Catholics, so did every religion talk about slavery. Sorry. But it's more easier to go after Christianity. Why? Because that's the one that you more so deal with. But I'm just trying to be for real. Go to other countries. Watch how fast they put you behind the chains.
People getting some countries, they getting persecuted, like in China, Saudi Arabia.
China, you gotta hide a Bible. You can't be open with no Bible in China. You cannot be open with no Bible in China in certain areas, boy. You will disappear that night.
Yes.
You will disappear that night. So, I mean, listen, man, like what y'all want to believe in will get you to sleep, that's on you. But one thing I can definitely say, whenever I see somebody get shot, they sure do know how to call on the God.
Oh, yeah.
They sure do know. All of a sudden, I see the most amazing, immaculate Christians come out when they dying on that ground leaking. Call mama, call daddy, call auntie, call Chester the dog, call Annie, and call Jesus.
Right.
Answer.
Get me out of this situation. Get me
out. So I don't judge you, but I'm just saying I'm being for real. Right. I mean, I say whatever y'all believe in. Let's just be honest. Your civil rights movement was built on Bible Christian backings.
Exactly. And that's the motivation of how Harvard started and world. You got Tuskegee Institute, the different HBCUs and all this stuff that was started now. But yeah, I mean, it's all in history though. But like I said, people fear what they don't understand. And that's what I noticed. And this is why I want to have more conversations with these people, so I'm trying to understand, like, why do you believe what you believe in? You know, I would love to interview atheists, interview agnostic people or different people because it has to be a reason. And I'm not upset, but I just want to know, like, let's converse, let's have an intellectual conversation and like adults, and let's go ahead and exchange information. Like, you got family members, you know, you got family members who would actually ostracize their people for their political beliefs instead of just talking to them and why you believe in that, you know.
Right.
You know, so and this is the beauty of the channel and the beauty of us talking and everything. Like you know, just conversation. I like to have conversations with people. Why do you believe? I'm trying to get in your head. Why do you believe in the stuff that you believe in? And for you, BMT, you said now you used to do radio before
Mhm.
you end up doing this YouTube. So how long, like, did you work at a radio station or did you go to school for radio? How did that come about?
I more so worked alongside with a radio station, conservative 94. I worked for 94.3 WSC. I used to call in and deal with the controversial talk, and I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I did with the controversial talk. I would call in. I would, do the personality stuff. So I dabbled with radio a while, and I enjoyed it, and I loved it. I loved it a lot. But the thing about it was, I wanted to also talk from a more so of a urban, Afrocentric personality.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I my personality of spectrum of dealing with different races was already there. So I can't so much just say, well, blackity black, blah, black, blah, black, blah, black, because my game to where I am, I was dealing with not just black, I dealt with everybody. So I wanted to teach people this is how you're going to have to maneuver. I know you think in a perfect world that you think that I'm only dealing with black people. Well, I don't know how you're going to make money that much because you're going to have to holistically make your ventures. I get y'all like say, well, Magic Johnson made his money off of just black people. No, he didn't. Magic Johnson played for the Lakers. I don't know no black person.
Exactly. That's
I
how you
don't
made
know black. I don't know no. He made his millions shooting that basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Magic made his millions going to the proper people and investing.
Yes.
So you can't just say it was just only just y'all that did it. He put his money properly in the right areas, and see that's something you need to learn how to do. Y'all want to bring up Byron Allen? Byron Allen made investments with different people who are not just black.
Mm-hmm.
This is the way to the world that some people they make their millions and billions not with just their own, but with everyone. Money does not have a race. Money is money.
Mm-hmm.
But don't let money control you. You control the money and how you want to see it get spent. Keep it circulating in certain pools, and you'll watch it grow. Have it circulate. If I know, like, let's put it like this, friends. I will show you real time. Young Link goes on. I share his video. I make sure when Young Link comes around me, I show his channel. So in doing that, a few more people will come on and subscribe. So that way I circulate my subs with his subs. And his subs may circulate with me. Mm-hmm. So that way, so long as we're circulating our subs together, we're both growing. We're both building. So that's power, strengthening power. So long as the conduit is constantly focusing and moving amongst each other. And you see that giving a shout out to O'Shea. Yeah. O'Shea does not mind circulating in the conduit of power with certain people that he aligns himself with. So he's watched all his young homies come up with him. I can't lie, and I know in every take. When he said, y'all all are the young homie to me, he's right about what he says that.
Yeah.
He ain't lying. Young Lady told you.
Yeah.
He said I met BMT through seeing him on O'Shea. Yeah. When O'Shea started seeing me do my channel, he said, BMT, come over here. Come on my panel. And he started doing shows with me. And then after that, one day pulled me aside. He started telling me what I need to do. Times where I stepped out of the line, he pulled me aside and he chastised me. He said, no, you don't need to do that. Times I wanted to quit, he said, no, keep going. But see, he makes sure that I stayed on stuff. And sometimes I will call him, and we talked. Different other brothers, we've talked in back chats. Talk with Gav. I talk with MOT. You know, I supported MOT way before MOT got to 100. I was already supporting the brother.
Mm-hmm.
So I already knew. I said, "Yo, MOT, you're gonna go. You're gonna go the distance. Just work on this, buy this, purchase this." I've done that even with Young Lake. I said, "Yo, Young, purchase this, get this equipment, buy that, budget this out." Why? Because I want it that way. Everyone has a fair shot at this, of building their own heaven.
Yep. Yep. Another thing too, as far as like marketing too, marketing yourself it's a good key thing too, because learning about that on YouTube, just marketing yourself like different multiple streams of and social networks, that helps out a lot too, and just pretty much like you said, investing in different mics and systems, green screens, editing. And what I noticed about you, you have a huge team around you. You have multiple like Facebook pages. I mean, you got people, because like if you don't mind, like how did you walk us through like the steps, like how you interviewing people, like far as like getting certain amount of people, like because it's like almost every other chat you have, you getting more people to interview you on your channel, and on top of that too, how can you consistently keep them motivated to keep going back into your channel?
Okay, so one of the things about it that I do is, and I also know I need to start buying me business cards. I'm going to be getting them, if not this week, probably next week. I got to go look into buying business cards. But one of the things about it is, first off, is practice repetition. Come on at a certain time from a certain schedule and start working on talking. Second thing, I didn't look for just like-minded people, but I look for goal-orientated people that had things that they wanted to say. And in doing that, they will watch you. And they watch you put in the work, you'll be surprised that they will actually start to talk with you. Shout out to my brother BK from the Rockies.
Yeah.
Shout out from Clowns. Killer Clowns in there. I've done a show with him. BK, I've done a show with him. Different brothers, I've opened up the platform to where different men can come on and talk. You definitely know that.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, this is not. I only built the stage. But I want y'all to come up on the stage, take the mic, and speak on the podium.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing that, it opens it up for y'all. Now, in doing the page, what I did, I joined various Facebook groups. I joined a lot of Facebook groups. And in those Facebook groups, I started to talk and communicate and build with people. Mobile is part of the LGBT. I met him in the atheist group. Granted, I have my Christian faith, but I met him in the atheist and agnostic group.
And that's a more of a Facebook group, atheist group.
Mm-hmm. And I met him there. And we had our disposition of mindset. And I said, if whatever y'all say y'all believe in, if I set up a place for us to talk, would you come? He said, "Yep, I'll come. I'll come." And he spoke out and said he'll come. So I provided him, again, the stage to come, to speak. He came and we dialogued, we talked.
Mm-hmm.
And then when people, of course, I already knew how Black people would talk about a brother like him, I defended him. And he said, "I've never seen a brother, especially like you, defend me." And I said, the reason why, because you are my guest and you are a Black man just like me.
Mm-hmm.
You have the right to speak your mind. You're no less than, and you're not inferior.
You
You're
know,
equal.
and that's interesting, man, because you know, for the more the panel, I want to interview like incels and stuff like that too. And I made a video about that, you know, and I ain't think it was a real movement, but it really is. I mean, they got their own identity, they got their own flag. It's some serious, man. And I'm like, wow, like, and that's coming up real soon too, you know, because I want to know what you know what's going on, because you know people ridiculing them and they don't have like a really a safe space to really talk, because at the same time you know people gonna automatically just criticize them, and then when you've been criticizing and you know have people to say negative things to you countless of times, and yeah, you're gonna shut down. So you know this is and I'm glad like you know you paving the way for that, to for people to actually come with all different backgrounds and beliefs. You know, I don't care if you're homeless, if you're a billionaire, like we're gonna go ahead and talk and see you know what's going on, what's on your mind, you know, and you don't even have to be a YouTuber. But I was gonna say thank you for, because I actually got the inspiration from doing that as well. um what I was gonna ask too, BMT, is like so what is your thing about, because I watch a lot of your content and everything.
Mhm.
You talked about like this the black community stuff, what we're going through, and things that we can improve on, different topics. What is your thoughts on like more of like people thinking like giving like false information in a way, like you know like the flat earthers, different groups like that, conspiracy theories? Do you think like you know they may be just talking just to talk, or you know, or you think they're kind of like irrelevant in a way, as far as the community?
Well, okay, because shout out to Brother Sanchez. I know he believes in
Yeah,
flat.
bro, Sanchez. Yeah.
I know he believes in flat Earth, and there's definitely a space for them because you know they are their own community.
Mhm.
But I also, one of the monikers that me, Jay, Healthy, and a lot of us on the BMT thing, I sometimes saying all their name boys, like calling out calling out all the disciples. Um, I say we do not debate with emotion. We debate purely with facts.
All right.
And in saying that, we have to remove out what? The emotion. This is why, like I had that topic earlier this morning, we take out the emotion out of it and look straight at the facts of what we can pull up. And they'll be like, well, you can't prove that. Well, guess what? We can actually, you can go on Google, you can pull up Google satellites.
Mm-hmm.
We already know there's a lot of them out there.
Yeah.
And you literally can look at the earth.
All right.
You can literally take pictures of the earth. And in doing that, you can get the information you need. And so I get some people are detached from certain types of knowledge, or sometimes some people will rather stay blissfully ignorant. And it's like, if I give you the seeds to plant and you choose not to plant it, then guess what? I did my job.
Right.
Then I told you the truth. It's the same thing as when I did that clapback video to the Hebrew Israelite. Now, I have nothing against all of them, but I definitely talked about it and I showcased it. And when I showcased the Hebrew, everything that they said, I pulled up as you was watching in that video the information. When I hear black men saying, "Well, we need to be like lions," and I'm like, "So you want to be a matriarchy?"
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like I say, you want to be a matriarchy? What do you mean lions are our patriarchy? No, they're matriarchy. Very much so. Literally, the lionesses, the men protect the children.
Yeah.
Protect the children and protect the children and watch the territory. The females do all the hunting and everything. Heck, the pride does not move without the main lioness. The men are there just for breeding. Whenever the men think that they're ready, they leave the pride and go join up with some other females. What do you know? I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'll pull up the information. Y chromosomes, hereditary, Now, I hear a lot of people say, well, you are of your father. No, you are of your father and your mother. You are of two different genes. If your mother had blue eyes, your father had blonde hair, but you're black, you have a chance to possibly have that. And if it skips over you, hereditary genes or traits, you can pass over to the next child.
Yeah, is either dominant or recessive. Yeah, that's
No, that don't make sense. That's white man logic. I'm trying to tell you now. I'm not trying to tell you what you want to feel. I'm telling you what you need to know.
well, yeah, because and that's the thing too, and that's the only like I say, um, just frustrating part about YouTube. I mean, it's hard to change people's mindset, but yeah, when they get all emotional, and you deliver them facts, they do get kind of upset, and that's when I'd be like, man, dang, like what's going on? Like, like I just want to have a, just general conversation, but I don't mind debating with people. I'll go back and forth though. But when I'm pulling up this information, then they want to refute that based on their emotions. And that kind of destroys, and so that's when you be like, all right, man, like now you're just a fool. Like
I've already done took off on my sandals,
right,
dust my feet off, and I left.
Right,
I do not try. I am done with the convinced Olympics. I'm done trying to prove to you anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I listen, man. I don't even try to showcase and prove reparations anymore. I even tell people like, listen, there's different groups who got reparations.
So do you believe? So okay. Do you believe African Americans should receive some type of reparations?
Yeah.
And okay.
But how they gonna get it?
Yeah, that's like would it be accomplished at any time soon?
Correct. Now the thing about it is, to receive reparations, there are different faceted ways you have to do it. Mm-hmm. Shout out to there's the two groups that have received reparations.
Let me pull this up. I got you.
You can pull up, and we can do this real time.
Say, let me type in. Sorry, let me try to pull up real quick. Mm-hmm. So, I'm just typing what reparations.
Yes, put in Black farmers receive reparations, and you can read it. Just read it real time.
Black farmers receive reparations. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me see this. The case reparation for Black farmers talk poverty. Let me see what they say on here. There's actually all Black farmers out there. So hold on.
Yep, quite a lot of them. Well, not as much. We actually are. We're actually we don't have as much as we used to have. But right. Yep, go ahead and look it up,
man. Oh wow. Okay.
Now, do you think is that public information?
Yeah. So I'm gonna see this as after June was driven out of the business in 2015. Angie, okay. Let me see. Okay. Local agricultural lenders at local sugar mill and county U.S. Department of Agriculture officials, and they brought multiple lawsuits to prove they were treated differently than white farmers. So June and Angie said the tactics used to force them from their land, including vandalism, intimidation, contract lending, discrimination, have been widely deployed by various institutions helping the entire Black farming community. Okay. Black farmers during the loan process resulted in payouts, most of them $50,000 for thousands of victims. Oh, wow.
What would that be right there?
Wow.
What would that be right there?
Yeah, that's okay.
That is reparations, correct, sir?
Yeah, that is. They actually haven't seen that. I didn't know that though. Wow.
And you didn't know that. Now, what would that mean? That means they kept quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Did what they needed to do.
Yeah.
Played the game and got paid.
And so man, this is interesting here. The first attempt at reparations came on the heels of the Civil War when General Sherman ordered a sweeping redistribution of land across the U.S. South. Up to 400,000 acres of formerly Confederate-owned land was to be divided into 40-acre parcels and given to newly freed slaves. But just months later, President Andrew Johnson, I remember that after Abraham Lincoln, overturned the order, and black families were evicted from their acreage. 40 acres and a mule became one of the many broken promises by the U.S. government to Black America. But according to this, in the 1990s and 2000s, so U.S. Department of Agriculture giving the loan process and giving $50,000 for the victims. Yeah, so and see that's the thing though, you know, being this more of an ADOS community, you know, and so you know we got to kind of figure out you know where we came, all this type of stuff. You know, the government got to figure out where we came from and all this stuff, and how much money they're going to lend us. I mean, because African Americans, we came from all over, and I'm still trying to figure out my identity. Like, you know, I'm doing ancestry.com. Like, you know, have we come from Israel? Did we come from parts of Nigeria? Lil Wayne just actually did a DNA sample. He's 53% Nigerian. 53%. That's so. I mean, you know, they said Nipsey Hussle was ADOS. So I don't know, man. I mean, if whoever's the next president or whatever, man, that's what I'm saying. I believe we held our politicians accountable because we've been talking about this for decades, man, decades and decades. Like I do believe we do need it. Like Native Americans got it, Jewish people got it. We need it. You know, I mean, we continuously built this country on our backs, and I think President Trump, when he had that ad, right, he freed Miss Johnson from prison doing the prison reform, and I think he made a speech saying that, we African Americans built this country. So I'm trying to feel like, okay, if he gets reelected, is he going to, are we going to hold him accountable for, hey, give us some type of percentage as African Americans, like, you know what I'm saying, like, or he's just trying to do that to get in office. So that's my huge thing. So I don't know, man. Like people like Cory Booker and them, they kind of got out of the race, and Kamala Harris. Trying to figure out, like, is there any type of politician that's going to really be
okay? So I'll give you this. I'll give you another one. So I'll drop you two more. I'll drop you two more gems to just make you read up on.
Mm-hmm.
Put in put in Gullah Geechee HR 694, and then in another one put in Gullah Geechee HR 4683.
Gullah Geechee. Let me see. How you spell that real quick?
Gullah.
Gullah Geechee. Okay.
Geechee is spelled Geeche.
And
HR. And you want to put an HR 694.
694.
HR 694. House of Representatives 694.
Representatives.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then another one you can also put in Gullah Geechee HR 4683.
Okay. We're gonna look at that. You said 4693.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm gonna read this. This is the 109th Congress here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And as you see, that's officially from Congress.
Right, Energy and National Resources Senate. Okay. Gullah Geechee. Recognize the important contributions made to American culture and history by African Americans known as the Gullah Geechee, who settled in the coastal counties of South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, and Georgia. State and local governments and public and private entities in South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, Georgia, interpreting the story of the Gullah Geechee, arts, craft, and music, assisting in identifying and preserving sites, historical data, artifacts, and the objects associated with the Gullah Geechee for the benefits of education of the public. Okay.
So in other words, what you just read is that those group of people are recognized as a separate nation inside of the U.S.
Right.
The second one that I gave you, if you read that one, would be the 4683, and that's the preserving of their land, so long as one of them is still alive.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Again, these are things you need to have in the checks and balances. I get everybody was getting riled up with T.I., you know what I'm saying, when you're talking about reparations, and he came back and said that, and he was like, listen, y'all, there's certain checks and balances you need to get reparations. Certain things you got to have. The farmers had certain things that the U.S. government had that they needed. The Gullah Geechee have things that the U.S. government needs. So
okay.
go ahead.
I was about to say, so to understand this, so the Gullah Geechee, they're like a different race of people, ethnic group, or just
They're African Americans, right?
uh-huh.
They're African American slaves. Like they are literally direct. This, I mean, if you looking for the closest, it's like look. I look at it like vampires, like a vampire house. If you're
Okay.
looking for the closest thing to the bloodline of Dracula, that would literally be them. That would
I
literally
got
be
you.
them.
I got okay.
That would, like if you want to know, if you want to learn anything about straight up slavery, you would go straight to them. Like they are the go-to children of slaves. Like literally, if you look at them, if you you go ahead and if you go ahead and Google and pull up their pictures, their pigmentation, their eye color, and then you can pull up the people on the coast of Africa. I know people like say West Africa
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Dude, those people were pulled all over. And literally, those are the last of the slaves. Those are the last of the slaves.
The
Like
last
they look
species. Okay.
like they have their own schools. They have their own. They have their own. If you already can see, they literally have their own way of life. Do you not notice that? Look, you honestly will think a lot of them are actually family.
And their heritage is more from you, like I said, range from South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Florida area.
That's why when they say we be Geechee,
Interesting.
we're literally in a sense, actually all of us are in a sense all family.
Mm-hmm.
Every Gullah, in a sense, we're literally directly descendant with each other.
Wow. This is something I didn't know about. And they already had that connection with Congress in a way. So
Yeah,
they can
they're already in. They're already in.
they're already
in.
wow. And so they already
Especially,
have reparations and stuff. So okay. So and this goes back to my question. I'm glad I got this information. But what about, like I said, what about someone who was just born in Detroit? You know what I'm saying, or born in a it's just an average African American. Like where do we have our power, and where do we line up and for to get these type of yeah.
Okay, so that's one. Okay, so you brought up something good.
Mm-hmm.
How would somebody who does not have the advantages like these two groups I just gave out to you, how would they reach reparations? First off, you're going to need a group of people that you can call on that literally we are working towards a goal.
Right.
I keep telling people, hey, you might want to go into like farming or property building or something like that, where you have the financial backing to send a lawyer to trumpet for what you want or what you need for your people.
Okay.
You're going to need somebody like that. Just say, well, I want my reparation. Well, guess what? So do I. Well, I already got mine. But regardless, when I listen to other people and I try to tell them, hey, this is what you need to do. This is what you need done. As you already see, these people have already been to the House of Representatives. When they were watching, I think what was that court case with that guy, Danny Glover, and all of them that were going to, like, the Geechee had already been there. The farmers had already been there.
Mm-hmm.
So when the guys in the house were like, wait, didn't we already just do this dance with y'all? Like, who are you? Right. Well, we're the black people. No.
So individually, you pretty much have no power. Like you have to work have a common goal and be around a group, basically a nation, to get this type of done, to get these things done. It's pretty much have an initial agenda.
Correct. Unless you're just gonna be like, hey, I'm out doing my own thing. I'm building my own stuff. Like I even tell people, listen, man, I'm building my own reparation for my kids. So everything that their grandmother, their grandfather leave behind, and I leave behind, it goes to them. You understand me?
That makes sense now. That makes sense. Yeah.
That's my Geechee, or that's what I leave for them. That's the reparations I leave for them. Screen learning, what he does, and all the resources and stuff he accrues and he gets done, that's for his children. So when he leaves Earth, same thing. Same thing for Zardell and any other brother in the chat. Like certain people, when they leave or when you leave the earth, what you gain and build up, you know what I'm saying? That's for your people. But you gotta understand, if you don't have it, you gotta have something worth them actually wanting to deal with you. Saying that we's oppressed, well, guess what? You do that to yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
That you do that to yourself, but they're gonna be like, well, okay, we walked these last people through the Trail of Tears. They came back to court. So what about you? Getting out there and standing in front of a job and saying that, guess what? You don't move out the way, then we're gonna do this. Okay, cool. I guess we're gonna have to just move you out the way.
All right.
It's a whole nother battlefield that you gotta learn how to fight.
That's deep. That's deep. So, I think so. Healthy Way said, shouts out to you, Healthy. I appreciate you on this panel, man. I'm gonna have to get you on sometime soon. He said Detroit and other Northerns. Where is your roots down south? Start there.
Yep. Everybody trying to get to Africa.
Yeah.
But like Healthy just said, we right here.
Mm-hmm.
We right here. We ain't went nowhere. But I'm definitely ain't gonna beg y'all to come. I definitely ain't gonna just hand it to you. Before you think you have ownership or have any kind of lay of claim, you're gonna put in the work that you missed out on the last harvest.
Right.
You're gonna put in the work that you missed out on the last teaching lessons. You're gonna have to re-educate you. You can't just go into the NOI, the Nation of Islam, and think you're gonna walk in there and start telling them what they're gonna do. No, you're gonna fall in line and work your way up.
Yep.
The same thing as any organized functioning group. So the farmers, they don't owe you African Americans anything. Why? Because you weren't out there with them, their children, and their people when they were putting their money, when they're scrounging their pennies together to build. Yeah. You weren't out there with them.
Yeah.
Then you know how we were talking about, you know, you making them little inch by inch gains. How many times do you think that they were turned down and sent back? How many times do you think that they were undercut with their profits? But they kept on trying until what? When did they get that settlement? Not even like a few years, like 2 years ago? Yeah. Was it 2018 or 2019?
What
the farmers?
It was farmers. Well, I was reading as the data from the 90s and 2000, but I'll say it was 2018 though.
So it hasn't even been 2 years, and they just now got it.
Yeah.
So they've been fighting that for years.
Yeah.
Years since Jim Crow.
Yep, since Jim Crow. Exactly.
So what makes you think that all of a sudden you gonna just jump in and just say, put me in the game, coach?
But the talking points we have too, like especially some people from pro basketball, like you know, since we come from African descent, you know, we went through the Jim Crow. We built this nation. We had dogs sitting on us, and we were lynched. It was, I mean, you got people in the state of Alabama right now. It was over 1,000 cases that was misled. That actually led, you know, Black people to be on death row for something they never did. You know, they had a movie about it with Brian Stevenson. You know, that was a real lawyer who was actually helping Anthony Ray Hinton and individuals that was on death row for like 20 plus years for something they never did. But because they were African American, hey, you fit the description of this crime. And so we look at all of this. So we look at the Freddie Grace, Trayvon Martins. We look at just so many things, and you know, that Black people went through in America, and how the United States Constitution said with 3/5 of a person. They lied to us in the 15th Amendment in 1870 was written that, you know, Blacks had a right to vote. We didn't get the right to vote until the Voters' Rights Action, I believe, in 1967. So we look at all these things and all this type of turmoil that Black people had to overcome. Yes, why should we give you a damn agenda? Give us the damn money. You know what I'm saying? Why I gotta keep proving you that I need this damn money? Hey, I got skin color. You know, so I'm just saying that's the mindset. So what can you, like I said, I'm pretty sure I know you brought the Gullah Geechee and stuff, but what can you do? You still think like we still need to be entitled, or we still have to continuously go back and work with a group of people? Like how many times we got to keep knocking on the door like, hey man, we need some reparations? Or
you're going to keep knocking on that door like a Jehovah's Witness, going to keep coming by
yeah,
handing you that pamphlet. And the reason why I say that, and I don't care about no immigrants, I don't care about any other stuff, but I understand that power, if you don't fight to keep it, it can easily be taken away.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to seek the glory, you gotta always stay in the faith. Whenever I try to do good, war is always present. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so understand. I get it. I don't take away from. I don't take away from nobody's suffrage. I don't. I don't. But I also understand. I don't. But I also don't want to make excuses for why we do what we do. But again, if I can get you to not care about what is rightfully deservingly yours, granted, when you were set free, if y'all ever got to see Roots, you were set free, and they still didn't want to give you the land. They had to send the U.S. Marshals. Some people are going to fight to hold on to whatever power they can, and you got to be willing to fight. And this is the problem. But a lot, I told you, I get it. You're bringing up your past wins.
Mm-hmm.
You're bringing up your past things of what happened and why you should. But that doesn't mean they're going to give you the trophy. That doesn't mean they're going to give it to you. You're going to have to fight. You're going to have to raise up and build. If you want to see a change and start raising your kids to be lawyers. And then you teach them the history. So guess what? When those guys who are fighting are dead and gone, y'all hoping that somebody develops a passion to want to go take it on for you, versus you design somebody to take it for you. You see the Native Americans. I don't think people understand about Native Americans. A big thing that goes on in their area is drinking, depression, rape. Like they're pretty much they don't. I know we like to think that they're all go Dory in their tribe, but they're not. They're just as jacked up as you. But the thing about it is, for those of them, they raise and train their people to listen. We have to fight at all times. The minute we show weakness, the minute that's when they're gonna make a move. And you see, here's the thing about it: with a lot of you black men, I gotta tell you, black men, you thought that just because you got integration, that you are already equal. Remember, I told you that just because you got into the goddamn job site, you thought you already made. Mm-mm. If anything, you should have been fighting even harder. If anything, you should have been fighting harder for the team leader position, for the manager position. You should have slowed down.
That's I'm gonna get to this. I agree. I'm gonna get to screen learning in the comments. It says the individual then go through those racial injustices, so each person should stay and build based off their interests or leave America. It's not an all or nothing situation, and that's the alternate option. And there's some hurdles in doing that too. Yeah, like starting a business, like you said. If you're not willing to move within the nation, then you only do what you can do, because we're on this earth for a limited time. So I do agree with that. Like you gotta do the best you can to leave something for the next generation. Even if you don't have any children, just leave something for the youth to pick up on, and carve in that way. So I completely agree with you on that. Healthy Weight says we gotta move as a nation. That's why the Geechee is getting recognition. And I want to talk about this because we're more like disorganized in a way. We got pro-blacks here, we got Christians here, we got other people with different beliefs, and we can't collectively come together and all these type of things. And so it's it's a state of bickering and all that stuff, man. I completely agree with Healthy Waste on that. And Congress not going to take us serious. And this is why, like the marching and the protests, that stuff really don't work anymore. I noticed that. So I guess you hit you hit it on the nail, man. I mean, it's we just gotta move as a nation in order to get things going. And that's why I'm just saying, like, to the average person, the frustration always comes with, it's like, dang, like how many times we got to keep doing this? It's like we keep getting murdered by the police, that type of stuff. It's more of a it's just more of a disconnect on so many things, man. And it's just to the point that we're just getting tired. We don't know what to do. And I just think that, some people might have the mentality that, hey, what's the point of me living? That type of stuff. But I'm glad that you encourage that, you got to keep pushing though, but just create your own narrative, man. Create your own network.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Like, we do have people like I talked with this young individual at the grocery store.
Yeah.
And you know what? I always give them encouragement. I know they're working at grocery store as a cashier, and they're like, I don't like to dress. I don't dress ratchet. I don't do this. I don't smoke cigarettes. Like, we always think that in our community, everybody is negative.
Mm-hmm.
You got to take off those blinders of negativity that everybody is like that. We do have people who are trying to possibly trying to be functioning citizens.
Yeah.
And they're like, if you're not going to provide the opportunity, under what fealty of allegiance do I owe you? So I need to just do for me, for self. And that's very much true, because if you ain't going to build it for me, then I'll have to go find out and build it for myself. But if I build it for me, I don't owe you nothing. So we hear continuously this we. But if it's just a me, then me don't owe a we nothing.
Okay. So, okay, that brings my next point. So far as like people who are successful, do you believe? I think we talked about. Do you believe they should have an obligation to come back to the community and help out? What I mean is that I brought this up one time too. Is that if you're successful, or whatever, I know regardless if you have like a hard time, if people didn't really believe in your dream and you end up achieving it, but you should still kind of be like, all right, well, I'm gonna go back into the hood and buy these houses and actually rent it out to people based on their income. Do you believe they should have an obligation to actually come back and do something? It don't even have to be like through entertainment. It could be someone who's successful like in management, successful in doing their own business. And so my question to you is, do you think that, hey, should you at least go back and help those that are in need even though they didn't support you at all?
No, because nobody's doing it.
Okay.
I'll use case in point. I'm gonna use case in point. Eminem came out of the what? Trailer Park, 8 Mile, correct?
Right.
Did Eminem go build up the trailer park?
Not at all.
Okay, let's do somebody else. Duck Dynasty. Okay? You know, you know the white people that quack make those duck quackers and stuff.
Oh yeah, I understand the show. Yeah.
Right. Do you see them going to the swamp bayous and fixing up them swamp bayou hillbillies? Do you see them doing that?
No.
Okay, now let's use the Asians. Let's use the Asians. Okay, I know everybody like, well, the Asian community. Okay, so the Asians in China, people are immensely poor.
Mm-hmm.
They're immensely poor. But the select few that get over here, they work to no ends. They have to work. Now you'll get it where I get it. Well, the Chinese are the highest working class. Well, okay, so I get you want to use that. You're looking at it. Some of them are actually they're just working.
Mm-hmm.
They'll tell them, listen, if you don't want to be poor and be sent back, you better keep working. And to know that, that's like honestly talking about people who come over here and have a work visa. They're not going to waste their time sitting around in your face. Now they don't bring over the lazy people. They bring over the people who are willing to do what? Work. So, granted, and I tell this, like, it's not your job to say, it's not my job. My job as your job as a youth minister. It's not your job to die on the cross for the community's sins, but it is your job to tell them, listen, there is a will and a way to get out of this if you so willing to eat that. But see, if I give you that knowledge, it's on you. If I tell y'all, listen, y'all, I can go over to this agency right here, talk to them about trying to get y'all some jobs. I did my part. I get that if I give y'all housing, but y'all don't got no jobs, how y'all gonna keep that housing going? You see,
well,
go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say like, this might be different. I remember J. Cole. He ended up he did this for single mothers though. He bought some type of community, whatever, and house some type of complex for them and based on their income. But the whole job part, it still could be way. I don't know if you want to agree with this, but it still could be.
No. I'm gonna say you're talking about okay.
Yeah.
You're talking about J. Cole's mama's old house.
Yeah, mama's old house. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he pretty much the house is just about paid off.
Right.
He took the house and pretty much he has it set up, and I'm gonna tell y'all right now. See, this is why I gotta break down the myths. I love young women, so I gotta break down the myths. You can literally set up a house for Section 8 with the government. This is why some of y'all committed to start listening. You can set up a house for Section 8 so long as it is Section 8 approved. They will pay you to have people move in. He's a realtor.
So he would get the money regardless if they. Okay.
I'm just saying, man. I know. Listen.
That's crazy.
Listen, man. Listen. Y'all don't think Section. Listen. We can put that up right now. Listen, man. Like, I'll gladly move y'all in. Listen. Why do you think? Okay, let's look at this. Why do you think Walmart or most recipient minimum wage jobs, who do they majority employ? Who do they employ?
Right.
People on welfare and welfare.
Yeah.
And assistance. Why? Because the government pays them for that. Those people, when they get off of work, where do they shop? Right there.
Yeah.
I will take you too. If I know I'm going to get that turn back investment. And I'm not saying that J. Cole's not doing that out the kindness of his heart, but I also I also understand the okie doke.
Right.
I get it. Yes, he's doing a good thing, but also he's also getting paid to do a good thing.
You know, it's interesting. I'm not gonna say his name, of course, on here, but I know an individual who got a PhD and stuff and engineering, did really well, successful, and still got a family and stuff. And he decided, to move back to the hood. I'm looking like, I was talking to him at church one time, like, I didn't criticize him. I'm saying, hey, that's a really a brave act you're doing. He was like, yeah, man, and he's doing it, what I'm saying, because that's where he came from, and he it's good for him to give back to the community, doing things like that, and knowledge and helping them out and helping kids out and tutoring them. But I'm just like, man, like, and I told you too, it was like a youth pastor. I know he his house was broken into many times in the hood, but he has like a lot of money to the point that he can move out, but he refused to and stay because of his heart for the community. And do you think, like I said, do you think those type of moves is in denial? Is it like a Stockholm type of syndrome, or is more of like, you come on, bro, like you gotta, do something about it, because it's like you keep complaining, but you in that situation where it's happening.
Okay.
So yeah, so how can you still So what do you think about that? Is that
okay?
Yeah,
I remember. If I know better and I have better, I'll make sure I move better.
Right.
I remember whenever we bought TVs, bought a TV, and I was going to take the box of the TV outside. My dad said, "You crazy?" and I froze. I said, "What did I do?"
Yeah.
He said, "Rip up that box, put it in the trash bag, and literally early in the morning, I'll take the box out." Now, why did he have to tell me to do that? Because he understood that certain people, if they saw it, they would come to take it.
Right.
Granted, the problem that we have is that a lot of the things that we had that are possibly influential that can make a change or do better for the community, they're not holistically of reach. I mean, you can get out. You can get out, and shout out to the brother for still being there. You know what I'm saying? But he also understands that he has to move a certain type of way. Now, keep
Right.
in mind, you got to move a certain type of way, or something can happen to you. You know, same thing with the brother Nipsey Hussle. He forgot that just because he think he has money, they could still touch him. You get what I'm saying? Like, just because they got money, you call somebody a snitch in the street. That's fighting words. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, some people, they don't know how to handle, and you see just here on YouTube, some people don't know how to handle intelligence. Now, if the brother want to stay there in that type of environment, that's on you. That's on you, brother. But just be sure to know that, and you can come bring back the BMT. Whatever happens to you, don't come back and say, "I can't believe this happened," because you're in the area where people don't care or worship that type of treasures. They don't.
And so, going back towards that, like a lot of the youth is there too. So how can you still reach the youth, like in that situation, but based on your success? Like if you're successful, can you? Not saying, do you go to the hood, pull them out to the side, or you talk to them virtually like this, give them tips, like you said before, or what's the most effective way? Because that's the main focus right here is the youth, and like I said, they didn't ask to be there; they just was born there. That you go to schools? Do you invite them to things like pick them up from the hood and take them to a suburban area and take them back home? So they get exposed to different areas or places. Because I've seen people do that.
Right. So one of the things you can do is showcase a better living. Seniors, you have seniors and people in free work studies.
Okay.
Talk to them about, hey, like, do y'all need jobs? Who don't want money? Offer them and tell them, yo, there's stuff out here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How many of y'all need how would y'all like it if I bring by y'all some people who are looking for hiring? Start setting up networking thing where, listen, y'all, these things are outside of your community. But y'all gonna have to understand that to get these things, you're gonna have to leave out to go get them. You got to leave outside of the safety of your own community to go acquire these type of stuff. When you start telling them that, you start showcasing that, they will appreciate and they will go after that. And so that is something that you can do, that you need to do. You just gotta just go for it. You gotta be open to that. So a lot of y'all, yes, I have gone by the school with different people with resources and talk to them about that. And literally they're like, whoa, like, how do I get that? I said, well, do any of y'all want to work for this or do y'all want to do that? Well, here's what you have to do.
Right.
And I told them that. They filled out the application. I believe it was for Santee Cooper. It was a power plant. They had a program set up where the kids had to go to a community college and put in certain stuff. And if they finished the course, they would get hired. Starting out pay was $20 an hour. What person coming out of high school would not want that? $20 an hour.
$20. You said $20 an hour?
$20 an hour.
Man, you can make a living with that. That's damn near almost middle class. Yeah.
So when you literally start showing them programs and stuff, now listen, these things are not inside of your community. They're out on the outside. But only way you're going to get them is you got to get out of your comfort zone.
Right.
I told one person, they said that they wanted to be a chef. Well, I said, well, okay, cool. I'm gonna take you to a place where you're gonna learn how to bust tables for at least about 45 minutes. But guess what? After that, you can come back there and you're gonna start learning how to do food prep.
Yeah, baby steps. Okay.
Now he's been there for about 2 years now. Guess what? He's now starting to take up classes in culinary. He's taking up classes in culinary. But the main chef already told him that, listen, you get your stuff together, you finish up. Guess what? I will tie this handkerchief around your neck and you will be a chef like me.
Right.
And we can pay you. the chef's salary.
Mm.
But you got to understand that a lot of the stuff that's in your community is not there. And see, the thing about it is people have to learn how to respect what you have. You respect that Arab store and that Chinese restaurant.
And Korean stores and all that, yeah.
They don't play with you. They don't play with you. They don't play with you. But don't expect that I'm gonna play with you. Because if I come to you, I'm gonna play Caesar.
Right.
I'm not gonna be lenient. Oh well, you know my struggle. Yeah, my struggle too. Getting what I need to doggone provide a service for you.
Right.
You gotta be like that. You gotta be like the guy with the doggone church offering basket. If you can't pay tithes and offering, we got a problem.
Mm.
That's what it is, man.
That's good, man. That's that kind of answered my question on that, man. It's the youth. Those for shout out to Black Introvert TV. I gotta get you on the show too, man. Interview you.
TV.
My introvert, bro. That boy working hard, bro, in Atlanta, bro. Love him, man. For real. That you gotta keep it moving, man. Shout out to him too, because he makes music. So he's a good artist. I'm gonna actually interview some more musicians on here too. But yeah, man. I mean, the youth, man. It's very good because once they grow up, you want them to have some type of general direction. And how many people have you helped so far as the youth? Like you said, the one with the chef, want to get jobs. Like you've been doing this for years, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't even have a number anymore.
I know it's a lot. Yeah.
I don't even have a number anymore. And the thing about it is one of the biggest things that always comes up is BMT. What about the community? I just helped the community.
Right.
That's one less person you got to worry about in the community. That's one less person you got to worry about struggling in the community. There's one less person you got to worry about breaking into your car in the community, having a mishap baby in the community. There's one less person you got to worry about stealing, shooting, killing, raping, pillaging, or doing anything in your community. I just helped your community by showing that you can literally have successful people out of your community. That literally improves the chance of your community to inspire somebody to literally follow or go after the same goal as that person.
Right.
I told one guy he went into the army. He does supply. His mom, he predominantly takes care of his brother and sister. Because they had their mom, and he already told his mom. He said, "Listen, mom, when I get my own stuff, I get my own place together. I would like to get custody of my brother and sister."
Mm.
And he said, to be fair, what I will do is I will give you the tax money for them, but just give me custody of them. She said, fine, cool. Yeah, fine.
Wow.
So what did he just do? He moved into a better predicament where he can take care of himself and his siblings. But before he can do that, he has to get himself squared away.
Right.
And his brother and sisters, he told them, he said, listen, if you act up, if you ain't doing what you need to be doing, I'm not taking you with me.
So you setting up that ground rules too. That's when you leave in a lenient hand, like, okay, yeah, I got you, but these are the rules that you need to follow.
Sister, listen, they write, they FaceTime him, they write him letters.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think he's putting down on a place for him and his brother and sister.
Right.
Saying he's an E4. He's an E4. I think he's getting custody of them. He's already having it set up so that way he's gonna get custody of them. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be at shout out to Fort Gordon. And they're gonna be with him. Have a place where they can grow up healthy, get a school education, they have more access to resources.
That's good. That's good. What collard greens, cornbread, what's up, man? He said lots to be said about a good trade or skill like coding, animation, electrician, real estate license, etc. need to rebuild the Black community. I totally agree. It's something that, with coding. I actually was so teaching myself too. I think my dad might be on this show watching and listening. But we used to, when I was over his house and stuff, I was learning different coding and stuff like that, like Python and stuff. And you can really self-teach yourself on this. I mean, yeah, they got Code Academy. That's really good. And that's free online on YouTube. They literally show you how to download the Pi community site, and you go in detail on how to write code, like how to do calculations. I got different I got a notebook on that. And it's a lot to take in. It's about they have different like 4, 5 to 6 hour courses. And that's a good way too to build upon your skills. Cause I think I was reading an article. They said some prisoners, some jail, they was educating prisoners to go into this. They had a little computer lab and teaching them how to code. So when they get out, they will have a tangible skill.
Right. Now,
yeah.
No. Go ahead. I think about it.
Yeah. So I'm just like a tangible skill, and that's important, compared to like, more skill, like, if you do like white collar jobs are cool, but
we need blue collar.
Like you going to school for social work, psychology, all that type of stuff. You might be educated, but it might be hard for you. Like, dang, man, like now, they're not really hiring too much, and now you back at square one. So you did what you're supposed to do as society, go to school, get your degree, but now you got to go back and work, and like you just got out of high school, and that can be very discouraging. But that's when we go back into what you were saying, that you got to keep knocking on the door, keep doing the business. But if that's all you got to learn new skills, I guess, each and every single day, man, to survive here. You got to always learn.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And let me tell y'all some stuff. I know a lot of people are talking about tech and technology and stuff. And I want you to understand. So let me tell you some certain jobs or certain fields that you are guaranteed to get in. Go be a firefighter. Go into law enforcement. Y'all would think, as much as y'all complain about the police department, y'all would think y'all would be trying to get in there and literally just police your own neighborhoods. Isn't that foundational to like your community is protection, well-being, and safety? For you to open up a business, guess who has to come by? Somebody who does fire marshal coding, who checks the codes to see if the building is up to code.
Exactly.
Why don't y'all go by the county office? There's a lot of county jobs. I'm not banging against technology, but there's a lot of jobs in the county that y'all, as African Americans, y'all are not in those jobs. Not a lot of y'all. When you want to open up a business, guess who you have to go to? Somebody who don't look like you. And I get you trying to get into tech, but maybe you should first get into the positions of where you're controlling the things or the gatekeepers of that open up these things. Like, you might want to start getting into the clerk office of the courtroom.
Yeah, it changed the world, and I'm going to get into that too. Yeah, that's
I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying. I mean, just be for real, man. I told you, I've been on these YouTube streets for a long time, and I know these are things that y'all holistically don't talk about because they're not the most appeasing job. Sanitation. We're not going to lie and not say that, yo. The sanitation department, that is one of the highest paying jobs in the city and counties. Y'all ain't trying to get into that like that. Y'all ain't beating to get in them doors. Those are high paying union jobs.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm trying to tell y'all how to think outside of the box for viable jobs you don't even have to go to school for. You can literally just learn it, apply for it, and go in. Those are jobs that literally lead up to getting on the city council, the board, stuff that you yourself, it deals with you. And if you don't learn how to start going after those kind of things, I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm just trying to be real with you, man, on a lot of this. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, and I remember we was discussing too, like, remember the whole Amber Geiger case and stuff, get inspiration, like, get into law and all these type of things. But I mean, we can talk about, you can get grants, Pell Grants, you can get financial aid, all this type of stuff, because the hurdles that people might want to do those type of things, but it's just financially, it can be difficult, you know.
Right.
And then, you know, it kind of deters like, all right, now I gotta work, you know, I gotta do something. Then they in the constant state of survival mode. I gotta pay my bills, I gotta eat, and all this type of stuff. So like you put it in the back burner, but like you say, if you continue to stay the course, you gotta have a why. That's where I started learning back, especially in 2013. I was listening to Eric Thomas, who was more of a motivational speaker. He's saying, you know, you have a why. If you know why you're getting up in the morning, why you're doing the certain things that you're doing, and the average person conforms. If you go on the door to door, like, hey, why do you wake up in the morning? Average person gonna say, well, I wake up in the morning because that's what you're supposed to. Everybody wakes up in the morning, but you know, if you have a response, I wake up in the morning because you know this is what I need to do. You know, I'm providing for my family. I'm in the way for providing wealth. Then you will have a different incentive. We got to kind of develop that. I think that's one of the most vital solutions of competing and doing well for yourself. But that's all pretty much what I got on that, man. You know, I mean, it's I know we said a lot and everything, man, but I'm glad that you brought that out though, man, for real.
Oh yeah, I plan on going more into detail.
Yeah.
I plan on, like I said, I'm already working on it where I'm going to be shadowing on my channel with the police department.
Oh yeah. So okay, so you want to have them you don't get them on there and then talk about they can talk about any type of peace relations with the Black community? Because it does seem like I think the number one cause of Black men is their violence in the police department, you know, and stabbing and stuff. And that's just amongst on the youth, besides heart attacks and stuff like that. But it's mainly on the youth. Like they're getting killed. Like Stevante Clark, you know what I'm saying? And you got his brother, Stephon Clark, who's I don't know if he's still running, but he was running for mayor of Sacramento. I mean, and people talk about that brother, you know what I'm saying, how ignorant he is and everything. I mean, he was just out of anger. I mean, you know, you just found out your brother got killed for no apparent reason and stuff like that, man, unjustly. And I'm glad that he's and you know, he went to jail and stuff, he got out, but he transitioned to the steps of politics. And that's just at least he's doing something, you know. I don't know if he's gonna win, but at least that's a prime example of him channeling his energy to something positive. I'm doing this for my brother. He's not doing it for himself. He's not doing it for clout. He's doing it for his brother. So, you know, I just think about all those type of things, though, man. But yeah, that'll be really interesting, though. You have law enforcement on here too. You know, just talk about what they go through and things on a day-to-day basis, quotas they have to hit, and things that they go through, as far as apprehending African Americans, man. Because you keep saying this though, and I was just kind of like, dang, is it ever going to be an end? How are we going to be handled?
Right. I think the thing about it is we need to start opening up and setting up these things where I'm not going to just, like I said, I'm not going to just have it based on where I only just talk with just African Americans. I'm going to be talking with a whole spectrum of people that on our everyday life that we deal with, that we literally have to learn how to maneuver and actually work around or be beside. And that's one of the biggest issues that we do have, especially in our community, is learn how to properly interact with certain groups or certain people. And if we don't start learning how to do that, we're going to continuously keep having issues. So we possibly need to actually learn how to be more, advantageous on how we maneuver. This is why we definitely need to start pushing for these conversations and these kind of talks. Don't wait for them to happen and something bad, or I'm laid out in the concrete, then young Link got to get on there. No, I'd rather already start building up these rapport. So that way, when they do deal with somebody out there like a Stevante or a Stephon or somebody like that, they know how to deal with this guy. They know how to, like, whenever they go into the Latin community, there's usually a Latin cop with them. So why? Yeah. So that way they can interpret what's going on with that culture. So you're looking at it as there's two people yelling or arguing or fighting. They're just like, yo, they're just talking. We can literally talk this out and figure this out.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody might have to go to jail, but it won't end with a bullet.
So Collard Greens Cornbread says need small business grants to take control of our neighborhood. Sarah tire shops, dollar stores, eyewear shops, grocery stores, insurance companies. 5 black men pool money and buy a warehouse. Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, like I said,
What if you can do that without? What if you can do that without the grant? Would you still try it?
well, yeah, I'll still try it. Like I said, if everybody has an income, right? As far as like you can get 5 people, they're bringing home $1,000 a month. I'm just saying on average, that's $5,000 right there. You can put that towards, I mean, it's just like a little a building or something like that, or it can be some type of online business, a t-shirt type of business, and you can use that revenue to do other things, and get into like different properties, like in Detroit, like you can buy a house like little to nothing and all you gotta do, I mean, yeah, you gotta fix it up, but it's something. You utilize what you have. But I do believe, if we can get more business grants, yeah, that would be great. But it's not all because if they deny us, it's not impossible to start a business. I believe you still need like more of a you just get a team of people, man. It's somebody always starts somewhere small. Like Steve Jobs started off what in his garage and stuff like that, man, coming up with things. So I mean, and then he later on had people to support him. But that's the thing too, it's the networking too. You can't be scared to network with our brothers, man. I think that's what really holding us back, just to get things done. Because like I remember my dad, like he owns like a carpet cleaning business and he been doing it since the 90s, helped me and showed me and taught me how to do that. And I mean he had some success and stuff with it. But it's been times that he been through some tough times, like family members not pulling their weight, that type of stuff, and destroying the equipment, not caring, want more money. You're gonna face those oppositions, and that's when he's just starting up. Not even huge yet. You know, it's and there's a lot of jealousy that goes on too with that too, man. I just kind of find it interesting. Like, do you think like as African Americans, do they respect more like because they want to do it to a white corporation? You know what I'm saying? I mean, they would have a high respect in that. And do you think it's like a totally disrespect towards like African Americans supporting black businesses compared to white businesses?
Um, as far as it goes for that, people who tend to not be of your ilk are more wary of how you maneuver because they don't understand you. So they are more cautious of how to deal with you. And saying that, because again, there's that entitlement that as a black person, you are entitled to give me that job. Understand me? Because I'm black. So I clearly, because I know you're black and you support black, while I'm black, you should be, open towards me. Yeah. I'll fire your ass faster than anybody.
Yeah, don't work like that.
I'll fire your ass faster than anybody. And I want you to understand that this is why I tell a lot of people when you're first starting out doing a business, you got to be willing to do and play every role by yourself. You got to be willing to put in the work by yourself. So when people say, "Oh yeah, well, let me get 7 workers that way we can show that we're a big," no. Let me start out with just me and myself, and take on the small contracts, and until I can work it down and work it to a perfection to where I can afford to train somebody in keeping up and maintaining. So that way, when I'm doing this half of the building, you're doing this half of the building. When I'm cleaning up this portion of the building, you're cleaning up this portion. Let me come check the bathroom. Did you wipe the mirror? Can you do this? Okay, if you can't keep up this maintaining of excellence, then I need to let you go. I need to find somebody more humble. So that way, guess what? When I grab Paco's not gonna play around. But Paco's like, I don't want to. I'm here just doing your job. I have no. So then, guess what? Paco's gonna train you. Oh, Mr. BMT, are you going to train me? No, I'm not training you. Paco training you.
Right.
Because Paco understands my mindset. And not to say I got anything against black businesses. I support black businesses, but I also understand that you gotta be more harder with your own. And I don't say, well, other races are they? Yes, they are. I watch them Asian dudes yell at them Asians in that doggone restaurant all the time.
Oh, in Chinese restaurant, yes.
All they do is yell and bash each other. I
Yep.
watched them in the nail salon, dude. I watched Hispanics at certain places at the car wash and all stuff. All they do is talk down to each other. Shit. So I understand that when I get in the work environment around some of y'all, I gotta be like Pharaoh with the lash. You can't lessen up on your own because you have a model of excellence you have to keep up. So this is why you start keeping a goal. Like, listen, y'all, this is our goal. We're going to make a quota of this amount, and we're gonna have this done. Anytime a car comes into the bay, that car is going to only be in this bay for about at least 8 to 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And if not that, then what needs to be happening is then we need to start looking at downsizing. Because I need to be in the bay and make sure the car gets done. But that means one of y'all needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start saying that, they're like, whoa, hold up.
Right now, they would start taking it serious, yeah.
Because now your livelihood is in jeopardy.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to get rid of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, brother.
I agree, man. I think that's how I pretty much wraps up anything. Shout out to the people in the chat, man.
Shout out to the people in the chat.
For real, man. I didn't think it was gonna be a lot of people like collard greens, cornbread, Black Introvert, Screen Learning, BJ from the Rockies, Zardell.
I hope that we have more talks, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. And like I said, I'm very looking forward to more of your talks on your channel too. Like you said, you're gonna start interviewing other people, just good people, man. I was just like, I'm very surprised, man. When teenagers, I'm gonna hear about their perspective.
Mm-hmm.
You said like witches and stuff like that, and people what they're doing and stuff. So yeah, man. I mean, we just got to kind of create more casual conversation. So I'm gonna do that, man. I'm gonna just take your advice on these type of things too, man. As far as like getting more interviews and stuff like that, because I want to hear other people's thoughts. I want to hear, why do you believe what you believe in? That's my whole thing, man. So individual content is going to be here too, but I want to hear y'all thoughts, man. We got to create some more diversity here. So one last thing too, BMT. So what's the direction of your channel, man? And what you're gonna mix? I heard you're gonna mix it up with more of the Black community stuff, or which is your focus? It's just gonna be more interviews now too.
It's definitely gonna be more interviews that are coming down the line, but also we're gonna be having other people outside of the Black community. We're opening up our panel that way more people outside of the Black community can actually mix and intermingle with people, and they can watch real time our discussions as well as our thought process. I'm actually cleaning up my channel more so that if they can't control themselves or monitor and host included, the main team, they already know who they are. So they already understand how I think. I don't have to tell Healthy or Jay how I move. They know how I move.
Mm-hmm.
So as well as Mimi. Mimi is quick to fire you. Jay's quick to kick you off. So
yeah.
So so they understand me. Charity don't got no kind of patience for like laziness. So a lot of the people that I have been working with for years, they understand that where we're going with this. And we're pretty much building it up where we're going to be pushing a BMT on the road, where we're literally going to be actually going real time in areas like Walmart, Dollar General, different other places, just where people just congregate and have certain talking points of things played out, where I'm going to get their reaction to things that y'all say on YouTube, and literally actually let them hear what you say and then play it out. Also, along with that, if you're from different multifaceted groups, you're also welcome to come on my panel and speak your talking point of belief. I'll listen, so long as it's respectful. You know what I'm saying? If it's not respectful, bye.
Right, exactly.
I mean, so, you know what I'm saying? And this is just how it has to be. So but we're definitely making moves. We're definitely opening up the panel towards a lot of stuff, to the things that we can be moving forward towards. giving a shout out to Young Link for allowing me to come here. Thank you. And, thank you for
appreciate you, brother, man, taking time out your day. I know you're a busy guy, man, and let's say I'm gonna have you more on the show too, man. We'll talk about a lot of things, but yeah, this is an open pathway for other people too, like collard greens, everyone, like introvert, like just I can put my email address here on this. I
want to get Black Introvert on also. I definitely want on. Like I definitely want to get him on, just have a discussion with him. I definitely am a fan of Black Introvert. I'm a big fan of him.
Yeah, he raps too, man. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised you didn't ask me about the Dale King thing. Right now, I already told y'all, like Snoop Dogg's already under some scrutiny.
Oh yes, yeah, Snoop Dogg. Yeah, he well, like I said, he had that apology video, but like I said, you said he sit up here and said that thing before we come get you. It's already said and done, man. I mean, now Susan, I think Susan, who's a former national security advisor, is after him now. So
it's
kind of ugly.
Like, and I don't think people know who Susan is.
Yeah. But she used to work for under Obama, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Listen, dude. If they can make moves for Jesse, you don't think they can't make moves on you? Like once you're already in the network, dude. Y'all don't. That's what I'm saying. You don't know who knows who that knows who. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so this is why we trying to tell Black people. Y'all like, yes, dog. You took it to her like in front of the world's eyes. In front of the world's eyes, that was very distasteful.
Yeah.
I get it that y'all felt some kind of way about what she said. Yes. However, this is the problem, man. You don't get on world stage and then let people on radios and other people say the way you move against your people, you better tighten up or we're going to come get you. Listen, dude, you probably said that wasn't a threat, but in the eye, let you say that to somebody who's not Black. And let them hear you say that. See how they take that. See how they take that. Tell that to a cop. Oh, we're gonna come get you. Okay, cool. We're gonna come get you first. Because now you have to wear bigger guns. You see how quickly he apologized, right?
Yeah.
You see how quickly he apologized. So
it's just he don't want to go to jail. Yeah, right.
Right. So keep that energy. Don't worry, I'm gonna do a talk on that because right now he's getting checked. Right now his family's getting checked because you don't know what a national security can pull up on you. You don't know what they can do to you. You don't know how you can be. Mind you, you're dealing with Oprah Winfrey, Black. Mm-hmm. You're talking about the one
that's a billionaire who knows so many. So regardless,
the one who blacklisted Monique from making money. What is it to her to blacklist Snoop Dogg? What do you think? You think it's hard for her to go call up BET and say, never let, I don't want to ever see, I don't want to ever. Listen, they will take Oprah before they take Snoop Dogg. Mm-hmm. What person in the industry is going to go against Oprah? Just let that play out.
Right.
Just let that play out. A billionaire versus an old millionaire.
Yeah.
Oprah got white women on her side. Mm-hmm. Snoop, you got Martha Stewart, and Martha Stewart, I'm sorry, but she's gonna go with Oprah. I'm just saying that was a bad call, man. That was a really bad call.
And my thing is, and also too, Lil Boosie said something. A lot of people said things, but Lil Boosie didn't make no threat, but he was just kind of frustrated on her. So, but
he wasn't stupid like Snoop was.
Yeah, he was. And my thing is, before we come get you, I'm like, he ain't had to say that. So if he didn't say that, if he said everything else, but if Snoop Dogg didn't say before we come get you, he won't be in this situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why Susan clapped back at him like, "Yo, okay, so you want to say that, right? Okay, I got a way to answer back to you." So I'm pretty sure because he already said the thing he did with President Trump, Secret Service already came by. So you already know they already got one niche against you.
Yeah.
Now you got another niche on you. Mm-hmm. Sooner or later, it's going to. You notice you're not really seeing Snoop Dogg on TV like that.
Well, and that's why he was trying to clean his image with the gospel album he did a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, good luck trying to drop it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I'm like, okay, so you come from.
I mean, I'm just being for real, man. Like Black men, it don't make you look strong, threatening an old Black woman on social media.
Nah.
It don't make you look strong. And I mean, I get you feel the way you want to feel about Kobe Bryant. I mean, that's your opinion. The key word is freedom of speech.
Mm-hmm.
Same way you say you have freedom of speech to threaten the president. Same way T.I. said he had freedom of speech to say what he said and did that kind of stuff about the president. Keep that same energy when somebody says something that you don't like. If you don't agree with how they say in the church, if you don't agree with, don't say nothing. Let it pass you by.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I said, I don't agree with what she said, but I understand that. Listen, what you did is gonna be hard, but it's already hard enough for black men in the industry. So literally, you don't know who they know to mess up you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying because they only need a phone call. They only need a phone call to make your life hell.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're ready to go back to dealing on the street and doing B-rated movies.
Right.
We just being for real with Snoop.
Yeah.
Do you see 50 Cent saying anything to Gail? Nope. And he's a troll.
And it's funny, yeah, he is a troll. He be talking about other celebrities and stuff, but you know what to say, what not to say. Like, so
You know what I'm trying to say? Listen,
yeah.
There's certain limiters.
But see, my thing is, I kind of understand the frustration what they're going through because yes, he was bringing up the point. I think Lil Boosie was bringing up the point that you know, when Oprah Winfrey was working on a documentary on Russell Simmons and the sexual allegations, and he felt like it's an attack on black men. Yeah, but
Okay, so let's ask the question: How much of it would have been false?
We don't. That's what we don't know though. Like it's just the fact that she's creating a project and coming up with that. It's just like because they was like, well, you're not gonna do it with Harvey Weinstein and all this stuff. So you know.
Yeah, but they already got documented. Well, listen, we already got documented. It's called.
He's already on trial though. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go like this. The reason why y'all making a big stink about it, but it's about this is about the black community.
Mm-hmm.
You made a big stink about it when Tyler Perry talked about it in his plays. Tyler Perry talks about rape in his plays.
Yeah.
But y'all say, oh, he's against us. So it's like if somebody calls you out, mind you, you have movies where white people talk about getting raped. The hell, they literally have a TV show called Law and Order, Special Victim Unit. That's all about white people raping.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally, they have a show. I love watching that show. White people doing crimes of rape. So, I mean, you got white women say, well, all men do is rape. I mean, dang, that's on them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know you ain't doing it, then hey, but let's be for real. In the black community, whenever somebody gets sexually abused, what do they always say? Pray it away. Give it to Jesus. Don't worry. I'm sorry, but we just being honest, man. We don't holistically deal with rape like we should. We don't deal with sexual 2020 black men. Let's get going. BMT is thank you. Yeah. And I'm thinking about it. I'm just being honest, man. Like I like Snoop Dogg's music. I do. I do like some of his music, but I don't know what to talk about. Snoop Dogg don't represent me. He don't. He was that. Listen. I'm the first one to call it out. Yo, man, you out of order for saying that. Because if there had been somebody who had gotten online and threatened a black man, I would have called that out too. But saying we're gonna come get you, that's like the mafia saying we're gonna come get you or we're gonna come see you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because now they investigating who is these people. You know what I'm saying?
Now you said that. Yeah. Now they said exactly. So now that you said that, exactly. See, now you got national people looking up for who you affiliated with.
Yeah. Because he wasn't trip.
They're gonna do that, man. And I literally we talked about it on the show. Y'all don't understand when national people who have clearances can look up your stuff like that. Listen, man, that black community magic don't only go but so far.
Mm-hmm.
It only go but so far. So now your wife, now your kids, all your stuff gets run through, and God forbid you got any dirt on you because they're gonna pull that up.
Yeah.
Now your bank accounts get halted.
Mm-hmm.
These people have a way to make your life. So when they say we gonna come get you, they're gonna say, "Oh, so who's we?"
Yeah.
Who's weak? Okay, so now we want to know who's weak, and you better give us some names. If you don't give us some names, nah, man, I'll just say nah.
No, don't say the black. No, don't say us. We didn't say that. Like
us now, bro. There's no us now. Get those people who get from Vlad TV. You know, doggone well. See now, this is when they see who gonna actually ride or not. This is why I be trying to tell people like, yo, man, you gotta be careful what kind of spirit you be calling upon yourself. You didn't like that? Well, you know, y'all should have said you should have made a gospel CD. We're gonna pray for Gail. Do that. You should have did it.
Yeah, he would have been better off. I think he would have been better off just cussing her out and keep it moving. Yeah. But
honestly, it was listen. Lisa Leslie already handled it.
Yeah,
she already handled it. She said, "Listen, y'all didn't ask him then. He's gone now. Move on." It was done. There was nothing else to talk about. There was nothing else to discuss. Y'all should just move on. Pray about it. Give it to Jesus. Do a Kobe Bryant music video. You should have did a Kobe Bryant music video in tribute to him. All that stuff y'all could do a Kobe Bryant music video.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. But like when you're emotional, like you said, you made that video before. All that logic goes out the window.
Yep. So, like I said, man, hey, Gail got y'all done set Gail up to get a whole TV show. And here's the thing about it. I'm gonna just be for real. If anything happens to Gail, that's gonna automatically fall on Snoop Dogg.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure they had that conversation with him and his wife, and they also had a conversation, with him and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
They said if anything happens to that old lady, if she has a heart attack, a stroke, anything of her life,
falls on you.
Falls on you, because now she's getting death threats.
Mm-hmm.
And because you have a higher positioning of authority, guess what? Especially you as a black man, you should already know they're gonna mind stringing your behind up.
Mm-hmm.
So don't worry, or you will get sued by somebody. Somebody is gonna hit you. Let CBS get a death threat that goes to Snoop Dogg.
Mm-hmm.
Let anybody say something wrong to that woman that comes to you, buddy.
Yeah.
So y'all clapping up Snoop Dogg. Yeah, we checking her. No. She's already checked him.
All in the comment section, yeah.
You mean for
real? I was just, it was just crazy though. I mean, like I said, I don't agree with everything she said too, but you know, I understand. Gail King been doing this for years. I remember it had an outburst.
Years.
She did that. She interviewed R. Kelly. R. Kelly had an emotional breakdown. But I mean, that's part of the journalist art, man. I mean, like I said, like what is that doing YouTube stuff? I look at journalists and people like Joe Rogan and podcasters and things like that. I mean, yeah, you gotta you report the news. You report the news and whatever is good or bad. And now actually, and like I already made a video about it. I thought it was just kind of wrong at the wrong time. Why would you do that? She was paid to do it, but I mean,
what's her job?
She didn't really say that he deserved it. You know what I'm saying? It was more like she says is the relationship complicated because of the sexual allegations. It's the fact that she brought that up.
So yeah. Part of journalism,
right? Part
of radio broadcasting, part of anything is to get a reaction.
Yeah, you have to.
You want to see what is the reaction. Y'all forget. Why do y'all think why do you think they have Charlamagne on the Breakfast Club? What is his job to do?
Oh yeah, he bring all those ratings, man. He's very that's why he acts like that on purpose though. But I know in real life, outside of that, yeah.
Like I said, Charlamagne's my classmate.
Yeah.
Mounts Corner, South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
I dated his sister. Like I said, Charlamagne don't act like that. Not around us.
Yeah.
But the thing about it, he said it's all radio personality. My job is to get them riled up. You have the good person, you have DJ Envy, you have Charlamagne, and you have Angelique. Angelique is the person like, okay, guys, calm down.
She's more neutral. Yeah.
Neutral. DJ Envy is supposed to be the good good guy.
Exactly.
To play the bad guy, and that's how they put to play off each other. So naturally, they're going to play off of each other. So whenever y'all have it, whenever rappers get riled up, what do you think Charlamagne's going to do? He's going to ruffle them up.
Yeah.
He's going to play with them. He's going to play gay jokes with them. He's going to play all kinds of stuff with them to get them riled up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Charlamagne be bringing in preachers and stuff, and like, yo, listen, I gotta pray. I gotta. He's like, yo, I gotta get my mind right because after all the stuff that we gotta do for this whole week, I need to get some salvation. Like, listen.
I was just like, well, and what I like. Well, have you read his book? I think it's called Black something about his life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Charlamagne, yeah, but
he's very
like I said, like it's this blogger named J3 Know the Truth. I don't know if I try to type his name in. I don't know if his channel deleted or something happened to him, but like, yeah, he was just saying like man, like, I don't understand why I'm getting all these hate, man. Like, why you keep talking about negative stuff? He said, you gotta listen, bro. I'm a blogger, I'm a reporter. I can't be talking about positive things all the time because that's not going to get the views. Because he basically talk about things in Chicago. I'm like, yeah, he's true. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's nothing because you see it here. If you talk about inspiration and information, people don't want to hear that all the time.
Preach.
But if I talk about, somebody, you know what I'm saying, you talk about somebody killed somebody, or somebody did this, somebody threw their mama out the house, all this type, you can report these type of news. People like that. And he's a YouTuber. He said, hey, I'm doing this so I can get my bills paid. And people, hey, I'm like, hey, if it's working, hey, but that's the beauty and the art of, like I said, reporting. Like, they may say some positive things every now and then, but like you said, you watch the news, yeah, it gotta be negative. It gotta be stuff because people in a state of curiosity, people love drama. They tend to that. And this is why that's why I was getting upset when people was I think he was disrespecting Tyler Perry, saying he was disrespecting the Black community. But even though he's highlighting things that's true, in his movies. So, but yeah, man. It's really interesting on that. Let's see, we'll get to these comments before he comes back. Let's see. Thank you, man, for everybody showing out love here. Thank you for the love, man. It's really good. Looking at it's 551. Thank you for the love. Okay. Mm-mm. $2020 Black man. Let's see. Oh, screen learning. Little ninjas will respect your business. You tell them it's white owned. That's true. I agree with that.
Okay, I'm back. Do apologize.
Cool. Yeah, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's you gotta report the news. That's what you have to do, man. Is what it is, though. Like I said, yeah, Healthy Heavyweight says it's an art.
It is an art, and like I said, it is, and literally, we have tried to do positive. We do.
Mm-hmm.
But we've also watched, like, I think the one time where me and a few of other me, Jay, like, we know Ratchet Fridays, what we used to do.
Yeah.
Man, that used to stay busy. And now We have it where we do live videos of people on Facebook, whether they're dancing, twerking, doing all kind of crazy stuff. And we just people love it. They love it. So
yeah. And I'm probably gonna mix it up too, but I'm more, like I said, I'm more about information and stuff like that too. But I do, like I said, I'm start talking about, because I noticed too with the algorithms. I talk about controversial. Thank you too, brother. You take care, man.
Yeah, let me know how the video did. Just let me know how the video did.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I will.
Okay.
All right, brother.